Welcome to Flagrant 2 No Easy Buckets Analysis by Assholes Water Cooler Commentary for your sports needs. I'm Andrew Schulz. I'm here with Akash Singh.
Yeah.
And special guest, Giannis Pappas, is in the building, the history hyena himself.
What's up, guys?
What you doing, man?
It's good to see you guys this early in the morning.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge Kaz, who is usually here for our Friday eps. Kaz is in the UK. Well, he's flying back from the UK right now.
We're gonna try to call him in from the plane at some point.
It's possible. He might be able to call from the plane. And then we're just going to scream Allah Akbar while he's talking on speaker in the plane.
Where's DeStefano, man? I thought if we couldn't get Kaz, both history hyenas would be wild.
Yeah, that'd be I think Chris out of town. He said he was out of
in
town.
North Carolina doing college gig.
Fuck.
God bless, man. Those
One
college
of those,
gigs.
yeah.
I got one.
He's got a hell of a manager, this Chris, man.
Dorfman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do like this. Put it down and then put the mic up so I can look at you. There you
we
go. Now I can see you.
my pretty
See you,
face.
baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his manager. I don't know who it is, but Chris stays getting these college gigs. Dude, we haven't done Guy Code in like fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
The kids that watched us do Guy Code are now 30.
They're old. Yeah, it's like you're still in college,
Yeah.
Van Wilder.
Literally, XXXTentacion or whatever died. Like, this motherfucker, we've had deaths.
Bro, those people don't realize that college money was so fucking good. Did you ever play the college game?
Yeah, well, I've done a few, yeah. And it's like quadruple the money for as equal as horrible a gig it is how much you get paid
Yeah.
the other direction.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
They stink.
It's pretty bad. But,
They're monkeys, these kids.
yes.
Little monkeys running around.
Yes.
Climbing on shit.
I will say this, though. You're never coming back.
No.
That's how I thought about colleges.
Oh, interesting.
When I'm going to play a club, it's like I'd like to come back. A college, I'm never going to play SUNY New Paltz
Yeah.
So
ever again.
Yeah, so you just drop the N-word and say good night.
Oh, y'all thought it wasn't funny before. And it's about to get really not funny now. I remember I got a bad review. I did Johns Hopkins University. And
I did that show with you.
Did you do that with me?
I think so.
We drove down to Baltimore?
Yeah, because
Yes,
I had just moved in. You remember I had just moved in, like basically my childhood friend, basically my sister. I moved into her little cousin.
Okay.
And then this motherfucker, after the show, didn't even say anything to me. He was a real awkward kid, but he just left. And I was like,
Who was he?
he was this kid who I think ended up being gay. I'm not sure. But anyway, he
He's a
was
comic?
the whole time.
No, he was a kid, just a student that had just
been
moved in
following
2
him?
days earlier. No, he just moved in 2 days earlier. I helped him
Moved
move
into
in.
where?
Johns Hopkins. He just was a fucking freshman at the show.
You were helping some random kid
And then
move
2
into...
days later, I got a gig with you. No, he's not a random kid. He's a good friend's little cousin.
Oh.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
My good friend's little cousin.
Okay, got you.
Helped him move in. 2
Yeah.
days later, I had the gig. So I was like, this is wild. I remember calling him out and like, I was like, this is a great look because I actually did well, which is, not necessarily common for college gigs. But then after the show, this awkward fuck didn't even say anything to me, just bounced.
Yeah, he was probably
He got
because of my
invited to a
set.
party and he was so excited.
No.
What'd they say about your set?
Oh, I don't know. Some bitch wrote a fucking... That was my first, bad vlog or blog or
But you
something
did
like
well,
that.
I remember. I mean, I'd have remembered if you had
I'm
a
going to keep
slow
it
one.
honest with you. She was probably right about everything she wrote. Like, you know how we usually like to look at these New York articles and how... I think I fucking stunk it up. But that's one of those times where, I think one of the great things about comedy is that the worse you do, the more you feel entitled to your pay.
Because you had to work for
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Like you went through pain, just like laying bricks.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
that's what I was doing. I was just throwing up fucking bricks that night. But dude, it was one of those things where where you ever have a great gig and then you just forget to ask for your money?
Yes.
Especially
Never.
in this never?
Never,
Not even
no.
in the city where you're
Fam,
getting nothing. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'd be forgetting all the time.
really,
Yeah.
If it's a good gig,
Yeah.
the money's nothing. Who
Bro.
cares?
dude. It's because you get rewarded. You get
No, I had
the joy.
fun. It didn't feel like work.
Right.
When you're not doing well, that shit is a job.
Oh boy.
And if you have a
Sometimes-
job you hate, you need that check.
Yeah, but sometimes when the gigs goes bad, I almost feel bad asking for the check.
Oh, not me.
It's like, hey, yeah,
Really?
because I didn't do the job.
I might be embarrassed, but
paid
I
for it.
need that fucking check. I'm not leaving that
Yeah.
fucking check.
No. Maybe if it's like a charity.
Yeah.
Also, if the crowd wasn't necessarily bad, I just did badly. But if the crowd is shit, Fam, I need my fucking money.
Yeah, I would just tell them, hey, just change the check from comedic services rendered to
Babysitting.
Speech. Words said. I did a word said gig.
Help it with that right there. You could actually
you
do
could
that
tighten it
one,
right
tighten
here.
it. Yeah.
I haven't ever worked a mic.
Worst
in my
bomb,
life. Yeah.
Giannis. What was it?
Well, I was just actually thinking, me and Nate Bargatze.
I love Nate.
Yeah, we did a college tour together in 2008, 10 years ago.
Okay.
And we were going through Maine, and it was during the Obama, that was like the presidential run.
Yeah.
And Nate's Republican, probably, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Red State Nate, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were doing like,
But this is back when you could be a little bit more.
yeah, without being called a
Nazi.
Nazi. So yeah, he could just be a kid from Tennessee who's who's a
If
Christian.
we ever do have to fight the Nazis, who's gonna do it?
I said this yesterday.
You can't ask the Republicans. Apparently they're Nazis. The liberals are too
hilarious.
pussy to fucking do it. So who's gonna fight the real fucking Nazis?
Yeah, it's a good point.
There's some Nazis probably like, now would be the time.
I
The
know
comeback is imminent.
I know we talked about if there was a civil war before, but if the Civil War was just conservatives and liberals, conservatives would take over this country in a week.
Yes.
Yeah, they got more guns.
They got more
Yeah.
guns, and then my friend who's a liberal was like, yeah, but we're all like easy to mobilize. We're in apartments. I was like, no, you're easy to kill.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah,
walk in there with their automatic rifles and just shoot you up and walk the fuck out. Every
think-
redneck gets a building.
But you
think-
know what?
yeah.
The hipsters, one of those kids is going to create like a chemical, nuclear kind of micro germ,
Yeah.
and he could wipe because they got the smart kids.
Do
it's
they?
Like
I don't think
it's almost
they
like a
do.
Revenge of the Nerds movie.
got the faux
It'll be like the
intelligence.
jocks
I don't
versus
think
the
they
fucking
have the
nerds.
smart
I
kids.
think they got
You don't think so?
the faux intelligence.
Who's smart?
Just like the college kids, like
But like,
You
like
blue collar fuck.
the tech kids,
So-
San Francisco, Silicon Valley.
yeah, but none of them are liberal.
They pretend to be. You're
It's
right.
a fake thing. It's
Yeah.
like Elon Musk is fake liberal,
Yeah,
right?
no,
It's like
Elon Musk got 8 bitches tied up in a basement
Yeah.
in
They-
various locations that he can visit once a year.
They pretend to be liberal, then they meet with their accountant. They're like, okay, how can we tax evade
all of this.
all of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What offshore account can I put all my money in?
Yeah.
So I can save it.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't think there's any. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, who is this like shockingly brilliant liberal? I don't know a shockingly brilliant straight conservative either. I'm saying I think most people are in the middle.
Yeah.
Because if you're that smart, you'd probably see both sides as having some sort of rational beliefs.
Yeah, most people, you're right, just kind of vote their interest. That's what they do.
Yeah, why can't you vote your interests?
That's what people do.
Isn't that the idea of democracy?
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't really. 'Cause-
Everyone's like liberal till they get mugged. You ever notice that? Then they wake up the next morning like, you know what? Donald Trump's got a lot of good ideas,
Stop him, frisk him. Just frisk him. You don't gotta arrest him. Just frisk him. Take the gun.
finally got
Let me go. What if that was the rule? We frisk you. If we find a gun, you're not gonna arrest you. Just gonna take your gun. Would anybody be upset about that?
No, I don't think so.
It'd be a 5-minute inconvenience.
Yeah.
Learn how to hide your gun better.
I thought he'd be upset. The guy who saw the gun get taken away, he'd be like, wait, he just gonna go?
Yeah,
He's just walking?
yeah. I mean, look, if we just catch and release at the border, we can't just catch and release in Flatbush, right? Like, why is it? Why, like, isn't that the policy in
Ah,
Flatbush?
fuck.
Dude, that if I was an American, I'd be pissed off of that.
Yeah.
So these guys break the law, right? From another country, they get no punishment. We break the law here, we get sent to prison. That's kind of unfair.
That's not fair, yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Huh.
We need equal treatment for criminals.
We
yeah.
need equal Dude,
Yeah.
let's do a caravan march.
Yeah.
Why don't we march back at them?
Yeah.
Dude, I did this as my question of the day the other day, but I think it's kind of funny. I don't know how to like really make a bit out of it, but like you got these caravan folks, they're walking like thousands of miles, right? And like not even for a cause.
This shit is a modern
Like-
Trail of Tears, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like shouldn't they just do it for like
You're like, hey man, it's actually really sad.
no, but like they're walking to happiness. Like the Trail of Tears, it was
That's
like
fair.
they're walking to nothing.
fair.
This is they're walking to the dreamland. I'm just saying like why don't they do it for breast cancer?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or like autism? Like wouldn't that build up some
It's a
goodwill?
waste of a walk.
Yeah, it's like you're walking thousands of miles.
Yeah, you're
just
like-
put a fucking ribbon on,
Yeah.
and then we'll welcome you with open arms. It's like they
Yeah.
care about titties.
You
Yeah.
could have raised enough money to make your country less shitty.
Dude,
But yo, he's got a great point.
walk for Ecuador. Walk for El Salvador.
But if that would be, you're right. If like they put ribbons on, like we wouldn't even be able to criticize.
Not
them.
at all. We'd be
They'd
like, these guys
they
are
would-
selfless.
Yeah, they'd just be like, hey, we're just doing a breast cancer march. And like,
fundraiser.
Don't you have some retarded kids? We're going here to help your retarded kids. We're walking so far to help your retarded kids.
they wouldn't be able to even stop. Like, stop that. How cruel would that be if you stopped a bunch of breast cancer marchers at the border?
Why do you
Like,
want women to die of breast cancer,
Yeah,
bro?
exactly.
What we should do is just have them keep walking.
Yeah.
So, like, once they make it here, we just like, all right, tag, and then just send them right back. like a fucking swimming relay. You know what I mean? Just back and forth.
They
Bro,
hit the wall and then back.
dude, what if it's like an exchange program? So there's like some illegals that we've already caught. And it's like, okay, now you guys go.
They're gonna walk into a wall of military men with automatic weapons.
They can't wait
We
to
should
use
start
it.
a liberal caravan to Canada just so we can be like, how's it feel?
Ooh.
Are you into this? You just gonna let us all in? We don't like where we are. We're horrified right now.
This
What's
is
going on?
great. And
What you gonna do?
Yeah, what would bother Canadians the most?
10,000 Americans coming in, fucking up everything.
Yeah.
Like we're worried
And they would
about
say all the same shit that rednecks say about Mexicans.
Oh, of
they're
course.
coming in here. They're taking our jobs.
What jobs
They got
are we
no
taking?
manners. They don't know how to raise their kids. No respect.
They're raping everyone.
Send full lacrosse teams. Every lacrosse player in America, just send them to fucking Toronto right now.
Dude, that'd be an interesting.
Yeah. How about all those like paramilitary guys just running to the border?
And just hanging out
It's-
there.
We got America. We got some scary people.
You know what's funny?
That's who we would send to Canada. Just be like, let's send those guys
the Michigan militia.
who just like watch a little news and they're like, "There's a caravan invasion." They're like, "What? Give me my gun. Let's go!" And they're just marching down to the fucking. It's like, dude, you're not a cop.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Remember that guy Curtis Sliwa?
No.
No.
You don't know him? They're the Red Berets in New York. Giannis, you must know these people. They're like not cops, but they're people who would like protect you on the street.
Oh, like
He's a sports talk radio guy, but he also would like just have a
That's
militia
hilarious.
of
like
like
the
kids.
Guardian
Angels. Yeah.
Guardian Angels. Yeah.
That's it. Curtis Lee was the lead dude.
Yeah.
And there was like a group of fucking Puerto Ricans that, and like Italians that would just like walk around with like this red beret.
Yeah, in the 80s especially. Yeah.
And they'd like keep the neighborhood safe.
yeah, they used to. Yeah.
I
They
love
were-
a little fucking, what do you call him, vigilante? I
They
love
were a
that shit.
vigilante task force.
But
yeah.
that's the thing. It's like in New York, we're like, wow, these guys are doing some great work for the people. What amazing human beings they are, just risking their life to keep everyone safe. And then, like, when some people do it at the border, we're like, these fucking Nazis? How dare they do that shit?
'Cause we haven't seen the actual, like, if they went to the border and then saw some Mexican dude beating up a white dude or something and then stepped in, we'd be like, yeah, man, that's dope. Do that.
But what if they are at the border like, these drug smugglers are coming in? We're thinking it's just like a mother and her kids seeking asylum, right? But what if, so we're like, what evil piece of shit? But what if their idea is, oh, dude, it's just drugs coming
Sure,
in. We're
sure.
gonna
Oh,
stop
that
the
is their
drugs."
idea.
That's what
That's
they're
their idea?
thinking. That's their
Son,
idea,
that's
yeah.
brave, bro.
Yeah.
You're going to stop fucking cartel,
Guardian
dude?
They're
Angels
brave
were
in their
just-
own head, that's for sure.
If the Guardian Angels just going around beating up mad black people, like, I'm sure he got a gun. One of these guys gonna have a gun.
Yeah.
Then it's a different perception. You see what I'm saying?
And you know what? The Guardian Angels, I never really read anything about like the Guardian Angels ever doing anything.
Yeah.
You just
a
saw them.
sports talk
Yeah, they
radio.
were just kind of, they wore these red shiny jackets and those red berets with like pins on. But like in the 80s, New York was like, it was like Fallujah in 2006.
it was nuts.
So what were those fucking guys doing with those outfits? I mean, you went into one of those neighborhoods, you were going to get fucked up.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I
I don't
would
care how many
complain-
red berets you had. It just made you easier to spot.
Exactly.
So I think it was kind of more of a PR thing. Like they must have done maybe a little protecting of people, but you never heard any big stories of like, Guardian Angels save women on the train. Like they
Right.
probably ran just like everybody else.
They tried to get
God, the 80s was
Sliwa-
wild.
Oh, dude, it was nuts.
I always complain about how soft New York is, but there's no fucking chance I could have survived old New
yeah.
York.
I mean, I even remember it being wild in the 90s, just telling stories of like,
Early 90s when
Yeah.
it started to change. Mid 90s. Mid 90s when it started to change. Early 90s was bad.
I'm 83, so I don't remember too much of the 80s.
I remember it
People stay hating
clearly.
Giuliani,
Really?
and low key, I'm
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't have survived without
First
that
of all,
motherfucker. I'm not living
People
here
don't
without
hate Giuliani. Now they hate Giuliani.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I don't think everybody hated
No,
Giuliani.
New York needs a dictator.
Yes.
We're like a tough town, like, you know.
As soon as de Blasio got in office, I started seeing shit fuck up a little bit.
Yeah, you can't have a guy who's like, you know, you just need like a tough. New York's a town that's like, this is a money town. This is like a hustle town, and you just need a freaking, you need a little Hitler
At least
in there.
when things
You know, minus all the racism and stuff, just kind of fucking dictator.
Just a Saddam.
Yeah.
benevolent
You need a
dictator.
Saddam.
Schulz
Yeah.
always says we need a benevolent
Dictatorship,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's
Quickest
what
way
New
to
York
get
needs.
shit
Maybe
in
that's why
order.
he feels that way.
Yeah, was Bloomberg? Yeah, Bloomberg wasn't really a wartime
Bloomberg. It was all
consigliere.
data.
But he was a little, he was trying to ban like sodas,
Nah,
remember?
but it was all his whole thing. Apparently, was just data.
Yeah,
Show me
yeah,
what
yeah.
the data says. I'm
Yeah,
with that. I
but
like that shit.
He wasn't a wartime consigliere.
No. Exactly.
He was a peacetime.
Godfather.
Yeah, that's a good
Sometimes
idea. That's a
you
good
need
comparison.
a wartime consigliere.
Yeah.
Like Giuliani
Wartime.
who was the guy? Giuliani was not Tom.
No.
He was...
He was not Robert Duvall's character. Who's ever the
Yes,
fuck was.
Robert Duvall is Bloomberg.
Yeah.
You love him. Everything's good. Business is
Good with
fine.
money.
We're good. Good with money. Everything's straight. Boom.
He was Al Pacino.
No, he was Khan.
Giuliani.
James Khan.
James Khan, right.
James
right,
Khan was Giuliani.
Right.
Giuliani's like, if there's a broken window, just fucking arrest black people. Black people must have done it. And everybody's like, whoa, chill out, Giuliani. And then the crime dropped, and they're like, there might be something to the broken windows case. I don't know what to tell you. The neighborhood's bad. You do some crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
people-
it's so fucked up how he did it. He was like, his whole thing was if you like littered or if you jumped a turnstile, they just crack down on you, expecting that if you did that,
You
you
would
did
have-
other worse stuff. So
Yeah.
they'd like get you on record. They'd be
Yeah.
like, they'd fucking arrest you for that. I got arrested during the Giuliani. As soon as he got into office, I got arrested for smoking weed by the park. And I remember the cop said, he was like, that's Giuliani, you know? He's like, it's Giuliani's. The cops were happy.
They loved it. They got to
it.
work.
Yeah. They even said like, "Hey, this is Giuliani's time."
Giannis just dated the fuck out of himself.
Yeah. Oh no.
Smoke
I'm a
weed
kid
with
that's
Giuliani
over 40.
First
Yeah.
guy in office, fam.
I was
damn.
fully cognizant in the 80s. I spoke
Fully
English.
cognizant,
I spoke
bro.
English and a little bit of Greek in all of the decade of the 80s. I was
fuck.
speaking languages. I'm an old kid.
Oh my god.
I was around. I remember, dude. I remember when people used to carry mugger money, just like in.
Yeah,
so
you
in
have one pocket. Oh,
That's
this-
just
funny.
in case. This is a
I
true
thought
thing.
about doing this,
This
though.
is a true thing. You carried cash around in case you got mugged, so you wouldn't get killed.
And your
So they
real
wouldn't
cash
kill you.
is
so
in
you
your
wouldn't
sock.
disappoint the
Yeah,
robber.
yeah.
You didn't want to. You didn't want to be like, sorry, man, I didn't bring any. You know, I'm sorry, I don't have anything for you.
Right,
Don't
right.
hurt me.
Yeah.
So you had cash just in case you got mugged.
Yeah,
which
dude.
is what New York was in the 80s.
This how
We wouldn't keep anything in. If you had like a stack, I would keep in my sock, right?
Yeah,
and then if I had my wallet, I'd keep $10
I've
in the
thought about
wallet.
doing that, and this is how arrogant New York has gotten, how safe New York has gotten,
Yeah.
how much we take Giuliani for granted.
Yeah.
I now have a Prada wallet.
Yeah,
The fucking arrogance that I won't get mugged.
yeah.
With a $400 wallet.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
give you the money and take your wallet. Like, take
Yeah,
this
keep
fucking
this money.
$10. Give me
There's,
that goddamn wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing about New York is our standards for robbery were very low. Like there was a time where people were getting robbed for a JanSport.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's like a $40 backpack.
That's third world type
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, yeah. North Face, it started to get a little bit more expensive. But even then, a North Face was, what, $150 for
Yeah.
a jacket? $200 for a jacket?
Yeah.
There was a time where it was kind of wild, man.
I remember it was like in the late 80s, early 90s, Nautica jackets. You know, you had a Nautica. If you turned a corner and saw 20 kids there,
It was over.
if you had a Nautica jacket on, well, you used to have a Nautica jacket on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, something bad was going to happen to you. I
There
remember
is-
you just turned the corner, you're just like, your stomach would drop. You're just like,
Have you
"Oh,
been robbed
fuck."
before?
Oh, yeah.
How many times?
It was a
You've been
10?
shot, dog.
10,
Well, I know that. Yeah.
10 times, maybe more.
Really?
Yeah. I remember my dad had an Audi 5000, and I think it got broke. The radio got taken like 15 to 20 times.
Remember the sign on the
Yeah,
door?
he used to put signs. No radio,
no radio.
in car.
Yo,
Yeah.
there was this sign. There was this sign. No radio. Already been stolen. Just in case the same guy came back to your car. I was like, no, you've already got here.
Yeah. I mean, the paradigm shift that New York experienced is kind of hard to fathom that it went from that to that so quickly.
But I want to hear about your robbery. Okay, so what
Oh,
happened?
God, many times. One time I was with my buddy Zach Zarba, who's he's an NBA ref now, and
damn, you are old, son.
yeah.
That's all you had to say. My boy's a ref.
He's head of the refs. He's 80.
Big Bavetta, my neighbor. No?
Yeah, my buddy Zach. And I grew up in Park Slope, Brooklyn. So there was John Jay is a school that was in Park Slope, and it's one of the worst schools. But it's like, I guess it was one of those, it's like none of the kids who go to John Jay live in Park Slope, so they all take the train. So we just you just kind of stayed away from being outside in Park Slope from like 2:45 to like 4:30. You just wanted to give those kids a chance to like go home before you went outside, because they would always travel from John Jay to the train in like packs, and they were just bad kids. So we were just taking the train, like we were just caught at the wrong time. And it was Grand Army Plaza train station, went down, and I had a Walkman on, and we were talking, and then we just saw it come down the stairs. It's like it happens like in slow motion. You just saw
Purge.
Yeah, kids used to roll like 40 deep back then.
I remember.
You remember, like just like a mob of kids.
Yeah.
And they came down, and whenever like you knew bad things were gonna happen, it just got silent. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. Like you see 40 kids. Me and him were like in full blown animated conversation, and then we looked up, we saw 40 kids, and then we're just sitting there quiet, being like, "Are we gonna run now? How do we know it's happening?" Because this was just like 91 or 2 or 3. And we just knew this is not going to end good, right? So we're just sitting there. I had a Walkman on. This is back in the Walkman days. And I had the earphones around my head and whatever. And then they just come over, and we just kind of, at an instinct, get up. You know what I mean? Just like get up, and like, you don't know, we're just trying to go somewhere. And it just happens quick. You got swarmed. And I remember I got picked up by the legs. First I got hit. I got punched.
Hold on. That's one of those situations where it's like, I would have just given it to you. You don't have to beat me up. We can avoid the violence.
I got picked up and slammed like inches away from the tracks. And somehow my pockets, the Walkman, everything was just empty. And after you get hit, all you hear is ringing. There's just ringing, like just that loud pit, that like a dog could hear, like dog whistle sound in your ear, and you're just like, you're just like, disoriented. And next thing you know, I was just kind of like jogging up the stairs, with no hat on, just no hat. And then you just have to collect yourself. You're like, okay, what do I still have? You're like, okay, I got my pants. I still got my Timbs on. All right, you look, all right, no money. Okay, still got my keys. And you're like, it's a pretty good day if I still got my keys. That's why when I hear these kids get offended by words, like that's the violent word. You're like, nah, it could be a lot worse, That's what happens when you have a whole generation that grew up without getting fucking punched in the face.
Or
you're like,
robbed,
that's a violent
man.
word. You're like, nah, man.
It's a healthy experience, I think, getting robbed, because it puts shit in perspective, right? It's like it lets you know that rules are something we have to abide by, but not everybody does.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of like shows you the irony of like freedom and living in a comfortable time is like, the irony is people will complain more because they can.
Right.
It's like the freer you are, the more you're going to complain because you can.
Yeah.
So it's always good for perspective to just remember like how dark things can get.
Not a lot of complaining in Saudi Arabia.
Don't you think like the America...
right? It's like,
exactly.
They're like, we want to drive. They're like, ugh, fine.
Like,
that's their one big thing is driving.
They don't complain too much because if they do, they might get fucking killed. So don't you think once in a while we should like just turn off the electricity? We should just like once in a while, when people start complaining and marching them up, if we just like, if the power just goes out and you just let it go for like 12 hours.
Dude, first of all, you guys remember the blackout.
Yeah.
How nice were people in the blackout?
Oh, yeah. But then you remember towards like the 12th hour, 15th hour, you started to see that look in people's eyes. Like,
where it's like the purge?
Yeah, where you're like, everyone starts to look a little like hyena-ish. And you're like, oh shit, this is getting a little Serengeti-ish.
But you realize how dependent you are on shit.
Yeah.
During this blackout. Yeah, I think there's, maybe, I always think that we should have to be sent back to wherever we're from. For like,
you mean where our grandparents or
wherever
parents?
the fuck your family's from.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you've been here 7 generations. You have to go back and you have to spend a fucking year there.
Yeah.
At minimum. I don't care if it's going back to England. Go back to England for a year, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, dude, can I just have a
people
grid?
with those teeth?
Dude, fuck the
like,
teeth,
what?
dude. It's just like you just die for like different types of peanut butter.
Yeah.
You know, like variety that you get to have. All I'm saying is we would have a great appreciation. We should have the Nigerian route. One of our co-hosts, Kaz, I don't know if you ever met Kaz, but most
See the one that
Nigerian.
was in prison? I've been
No,
following
that's
you
Alex.
guys. Yeah.
Alex, no.
Is he free? Is he
Yeah,
free,
he's
man?
free now. He's
Yeah.
free. We got him back.
What do you do to get arrested in Sweden?
Oh, son, it's Sweden
You
and they're
can't
Nazis.
go with Andrew. That's what you do.
Yeah, you go with me. But like the illusion of Sweden is like because they're okay with gays that like they're open with everything.
Yeah.
No, they're okay with gays and then strict as fuck about everything. Like
Yeah.
find you with drugs, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
He got in a fight with a bouncer.
Yeah.
Bouncers are policemen out there. Have the same treatment.
Right.
So he got in a fight with a dude and they locked him up for a month. Is what it is. All I'm saying, send people back to their ancestry.
Yeah.
And then we have a little bit of appreciation
Yeah.
of where we're from.
Yeah.
That's it, of what we have here.
Yeah.
We don't have no perspective. I don't feel bad for these kids because they don't have any perspective. This is all they know.
Yeah.
They grew up in the greatest luxury in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to think it sucks because you don't know what sucks.
You right?
Yeah. Perspective's good.
Yes.
Yeah, just a reminder of what the
Maybe that's how we
what-
build up shitty economies is we do like a mission like the Mormons do, but like we just send Americans to Haiti and like you just got to live there.
you know.
Yo.
Yeah.
Right? We should have an American mission.
Yeah.
And in a way to really develop appreciation, bro, you will come back humming that anthem. Just, you can't wait to be back in the United States.
Yeah.
The shittiest countries, we send you out there. If you make it, you make it. If you don't make it, you don't make it.
That's a great idea.
Dude.
At least to do like real, like, I know you're joking, but if we sent
I'm
kids to,
serious.
if we did like to do social work and we
Summer.
sent them to like Haiti or somewhere like that,
2 months.
they'd come back with a different,
2 months.
opinion. Yeah. They'd be like,
Peace
you know,
Corps type shit.
Yeah. Something
Peace
like that.
Corps, but it's got to be real. I don't know. I think that
I did social work for 5.5 years, and I think every part of college credit should be social work.
Yeah.
Like actually go and work with disadvantaged people, mentally ill people. I think society would be a better place, and people
Yeah.
would have perspective.
you just need
I
perspective.
know. I mean, we're joking, but I'm saying it would really.
Bro, I'm not
help
joking
people
that
gain
much.
perspective.
I
Yeah.
truly believe it. Like
Yeah.
traveling, obviously, we get the luxury to, travel. We do it for our careers.
God,
Also,
we got great lives.
It's amazing. But, sometimes you go out there in Europe and you see the things that are really great that they got. And you also see the things that you would miss if you lived there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's really nice back home.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I could punch a bouncer. And then it's a fight. And then if he wins, he wins. If I win, I win.
That's freedom.
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
There's but back to what we were saying of just about getting robbed. I think that one of the nice things about New York is it gives you a true opportunity to be open-minded. And I mean that because of this. Like there's a lot of people around the country, maybe around the world, that have ideas of other people based on what they're reading or watching in the news.
Yeah.
Right? So like their racism or their hatred is based on like news stories. If you grew up in New York, you got empirical evidence as to why you might want to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You've been robbed by a fucking Russian. So it's like, I don't like these motherfucking
right,
Russians,
right.
right? You've been beat up by a Puerto Rican. I don't like these fucking Puerto Rican. But you eventually have enough Puerto Rican friends and Russian friends where you're like, all right, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
You actually get to decide.
Yeah.
So like when I meet a New Yorker who's like, listen, Chinese people, I just don't like them. I actually hear them out. I go for it. Give me an example why you don't like. What is it about Chinese?
Well, they pick their nose on the train.
and they give you
bump
nuance.
into
It's right. It's not that. It's not like they're putting cocaine in the toys.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you? You never seen that. It's like I saw a lady clipping her toenails while drinking soup on the fucking subway.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. And then you're like, bro, that's you.
Look, I don't hate anyone, but if we're gonna talk about who picks their nose in the train in public the most, I'm going Chinese.
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, I don't think maybe it's like a ratio's 100 to 1. Like you might see an other, if the other category was other picking their nose in the train, you'd be 100 Chinese guys to one other.
Oh, women.
Yeah, just like, and they sit there like oblivious.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
almost like they think they're picking their nose in another language that we can't understand. It's like, dude, I see you and I understand what you're doing and it's fucking gross. All right? You're picking your nose in public.
Oh, they're picking their nose in.
I mean, that's just what they do. Yeah, but you're right. In New York, we're exposed. People are exposed. We're forced to interact with. You know, you even go to those other cities. It's like the cities that were designed by the auto industry, because that's what all the new cities are. Is just like the auto lobby just made sure you needed to have a car. That's why it's all spread out. It's not a natural way to design a city. It's like we need you to have a car, so you buy a car. But the fallout from that is people don't interact. They're isolated. So it's like segregated. New York is such a progressive city because we're forced to interact with each other just based on how the city's
also,
designed.
Immigrant groups come here. Like every immigrant group starts here.
Yeah. And then they walk out. They keep going.
Yeah,
they
this
stay.
is the first stop.
If they got fucking balls and they're smart, they stay and make it.
No, it's the dumbest
If they
city
can't
to live
make
in
it, they go to.
It's good for us because we have to be here for our careers. You can't be a comedian in fucking Des Moines.
Yeah.
Or you could be the best comedian in Des Moines. When if I keep being like not that high in the business for one more year.
You're going to Des
I'm going
Moines?
to fucking Des Moines, and I'm going to run that place. I'm going to be the biggest comedian in Des Moines and clean house over there.
But if you just live in New York and you work at like a fucking CVS, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Go to Atlanta. It's dumb cheap. There's beautiful women everywhere, mad gay dudes if you're into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's a good life. It's better weather.
There's also, I mean, if you walk out a little bit, any direction in Atlanta, though, there's like scary rednecks out there, too.
Go to Brownsville.
Yeah.
What you talking about? You walk out any direction in New York, it's scary too.
Yeah, if you go up the Hudson, you can see some wild shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I
You ever notice that
understand.
just like at 1 mile outside of city, it's like, how you doing?
Oh,
What are you
okay,
doing
so
around here?
Upstate New
You're
York
like, why are
is
you talking like that? This is New York.
What
you doing
country
here, boy?
music is not a thing of the South.
No. It's just like a thing wherever
nah,
you can
country
see
music
deer.
big in Texas at least.
No, not just the
Not
South.
just
I mean,
the
if
thing
you
of
go
South,
up to upstate New York, you're gonna find like country
Man,
channels popping.
Pennsylvania ain't. It's fucking. It's the whole country is basically the South. We just describe it as the South.
Yeah.
Outside of major cities,
True.
to your point about interaction,
True.
probably it's the South. Like
Yeah.
outside of Philly and maybe Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know.
True. New York's the best. I feel bad for people who don't grow up in New York or live
Really?
in New York. Yeah.
Why?
It's just that because you're exposed to everything. Yeah, like we've been talking about. It's like there's no mystery behind it.
Right.
You know, there's no like we know Jews don't have horns. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas there's like still a question. And like, I don't know, I've only met,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
we interact with one another. Chris actually told me that he's from Ridgewood.
Yeah.
And he didn't meet his first Jew person
Yeah.
till like he was 23.
Really?
Yeah, that's how fucking.
I used to never know when someone was Jewish. Like I couldn't tell by a last name. Like there were Jewish people where I
Yeah.
grew up, but I didn't know like, oh, that's a Jewish last name, Goldstein or whatever. I'd be like,
Yeah.
huh? Like Blaustein, I didn't know that was a Jewish last name.
Really?
Until we kept making jokes about it.
Just
I didn't know
no
Schulz
Jews
was
in
supposed to
Dallas?
be a Jewish last name. They're there, but it's not like a thing.
Yeah.
In New York, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm in the entertainment business, and it's the only thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you have to learn these things about Jewish people.
I mean, by the
And-
time I was
and you don't know
12,
that
yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah.
Time I was 12, I had interacted with Arabs, South Asian, Black,
Yeah.
Italian. I mean, every single ethnic group is here. It's like the whole universe is crammed in this city.
I went to school on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and when I was a kid, I asked my dad why we weren't Jewish. That's how Jewish.
You know, a lot of people
The
ask you that
schools.
on YouTube.
Why I'm not Jewish.
Yeah, Schultz, you just Jewish.
They assume, no, everybody assumes I'm Jewish. What I'm saying is the school was so Jewish
Right.
Yeah,
that and we weren't Jewish.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that.
yeah.
So I asked my father, I was like, hey, why aren't we Jewish? Everybody's Jewish, but Alexis Perez and Kwamina Panford, those were the two people I remember not being Jewish. And
Pretty
my
clear why
dad,
they're not Jewish.
exactly, right? And my dad was like,
Kwamina.
Kwamina Panford and Alexis Perez. And my dad, I remember, told me, he's like, well, when you get older, you'll realize that, like, not everybody in the world is Jewish. And I was like, are you sure? like that's the microcosm that I grew up with on the Upper East,
Right.
What is it? Upper East Side.
Yeah.
They were doing it. And then you grow up and you start to realize, oh, shit, there are people who have no clue. I remember going to college in Santa Barbara and just having friends use the term, like, Jewed down
Oh, yeah.
as a way of, like, trying to negotiate prices.
And you were like, how did you know?
I was just shocked. I was like, oh, is that going on here?
Yeah.
Is that, like, because it was almost, like, cartoonish to me. I was like, oh, this is, like, slapstick.
Dude, the Jews just, they just got a raw deal. I mean, people just continue to hate Jews, and all they do is just continue to crush it and like stick to their own.
Oh yeah.
It's like the conspiracy theories with Jews just don't stop.
It's really crazy.
It just will not.
It's like every time the economy shits the bed, people start going, I think it's the Jews. I think it might be the...
I don't know what it is, but people just won't.
I mean, who are you going to be upset at?
I was in Pittsburgh. I was at the Improv during
If the banks fail.
the synagogue
yeah,
scene?
it was wild. You just wake up and then it's like I started seeing messages on Twitter. People, because I had posted I was in Pittsburgh, and people were like, "Hey, be careful in Pittsburgh." I was like, "What happened in Pittsburgh?" And they're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It was like only a couple miles from my hotel, a couple miles from the club.
Yeah.
Performing that night was wild. It was just a weird. Yeah, I'd never performed. Pittsburgh's not a big city. A couple 100,000 in the
I
urban
actually do
area.
like Pittsburgh, but yeah.
Pittsburgh's great, but you know what's wild? How numb we've become to it. It's crazy.
It's usual. Yeah,
it's just
normal.
like it didn't. I think if that happened like 10 years ago, the city would have shut down. We wouldn't have really been able. We would have been like, should we do this show? But like, I went outside. It was funny. I felt myself going like, all right, there was 11 people just got killed in a mass murder a couple miles away. That's tragic, but I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to go to brunch? Call the opener, like, let's go get some pancakes.
Let's get some bagels.
Yeah. And just
what we can.
Continued on.
Yeah.
Someone tried to take a bomb into the temple that I go to a lot when I'm in Dallas. Not a lot, but I've been there a few times.
I didn't know you were Jewish.
No, Hindu temple.
The Hindu temple.
Oh, they call it temple too?
Yeah. And I think we were first, so take that, Jews.
There you go.
How many thousands of years? Jews been around for like 5,000.
Oh, have they been around for 5,000? I don't know how old Hindu is. Hindu was supposed to be the world's first organized
Hindu's
religion.
been around for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, as far as I know.
I like Hindu. You got like the gods. You got Vishnu,
Shiv, Krishna's a god.
Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna, Ram.
You got choices. I like having a choice with my God. I don't like being married. You know what I mean? It's like I need choice. Pray to that guy for a little while.
It's a buffet. It's a
get
buffet
sick
of
of
gods.
him. It's like having a couple side pieces for your
It's
religion.
the Cheesecake Factory of religions.
I mean,
you got a lot of options.
Yeah,
It is
you don't
odd,
be married
though, right?
to a fucking guy. You want to be able to cheat on your guy a little bit. You know what I mean? Get sick of praying to that. But yeah, I'm like, let me switch it up. Pray to Krishna for a little bit.
How does that even happen? How do you diversify with the gods?
I think India is like a pretty diverse place within regions and stuff like that. And there was not like a lot of communication back and forth and like spreading like, oh, this is the what. And it started as just like, the Vedas isn't even like shoving a god down your throat. Like there's no particular god. It's just like here's beliefs.
But it's not just India, right? It's like you see this in like Greek mythology and like Roman mythology
Yeah,
too.
Greeks, we had a god for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's like this god is all powerful, and you're like, well, can he help with the water? And they're like, nah.
Yeah.
He helps you with like your feelings. This is the feeling god. We'll get the water god's that guy over there. And it's like, well, can he help with the fish? And it's like, no, that's another. That's the fish god. Yeah, the food god. It's like, well, what the fuck can these guys do? They're like closers. Everybody's like, can you pitch 9 innings? No, but I go out there for 2. I give you 2 good innings. We got Mariano Rivera gods. That's it. It's like, come on, Kreese.
That's fucking hilarious. It's like, they're all gods, but he can only do the sea. Poseidon, that's his thing.
It's assembly line, baby. It's assembly line religion.
It's so union. It's so union.
Dude, it's so healthcare. It's like you got like Zeus is like your general practitioner.
Union is
and then
funny.
he sets you out to fucking like specific, like, you got to go to a dentist for that. You got to go to a
doctor. You go see Zeus. My knee's hurting. All right, let me get you to knee god. Knee god. You go speak to Dr. Andrews.
Oh man, now union worker. Apollo, can you help me make money? Actually, that's not my job. Let me send you to somebody who can help.
My heart is broken. Go speak to that bitch.
Yeah.
Athena gonna help you out with that one.
Yeah. Gods are
fuck.
funny. So you were practicing Hindu?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know as much as I should because my parents, I grew up very
I don't even know how to practice that shit. He took me to a temple once. We just walked around in circles.
I literally just follow the darkest person in the temple.
Yeah.
Because South Indians are more religious generally.
So you're like, yo.
So if I see a dark motherfucker that's
doing it
probably
right.
South Indian, I'm like, just walk however many circles they
You were
walk.
supposed to be, your parents wanted you to be
My
Hindu,
parents
and then
are-
America happened.
No, my dad is not religious. He's like spiritual, I guess, but he's not whatever. And then my mom is. But my mom and I both are just like, we don't know mad shit.
Yeah.
And she's just like, no, I believe. And then if you're like, well, what do you do? She's like, you just go. and then you say what you want to say to God.
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason why Christianity caught on is because it's just like Walmart for gods? Like, instead of going to all these
a
different
one-stop
gods
shop?
to get your shit, it's just like, why don't I just go to one store? Like, I got to get lawn furniture and I got to get some
You might be
Kellogg's.
onto something with that.
Right? It's,
I mean, that
you
is
got
fucking hilarious.
1,000
That's
different
probably
gods you got to
what it is.
remember with Greece
Yeah.
and Hindu. And then this guy comes in and is like, oh, no, I do it all.
Yeah.
It's like having a Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
It's like the it's like the Walmart of
It's the
religion.
Walmart.
It's the Eden religion.
It's the Eden religion. It's
Yeah.
like Eden's going to set the lights, the cameras, do the editing, do everything like that.
Motherfucker asked if we want coffee
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting us waters and everything like that. Jesus.
Yeah.
He's our Jesus. It's like, why would I hire 50 different people to do
Yeah.
those different
Just
things?
simplified everything. Yeah.
Bro,
It's like
it is-
people got sick of, like, if you want to pay for the water, you got to go Poseidon. You're like, dude, just put it all in one shop.
Dog,
Boom.
and you're praying for crops.
Yeah.
But you're praying for the wrong. I'm sure there's like a rain god, but you're praying for the It's just too many things that you could get wrong.
Yeah.
We consolidated it.
Yeah.
It's Amazon. We
Yeah.
all put it in
It
one
is the
place.
Amazon
Dude,
religion.
Jesus, Amazon religion, dog.
did, he did.
Bezos that's all Bezos is doing, right?
He did, yeah.
Kept it cheap.
Yep.
You don't gotta give me nothing. Like, you got a little extra, throw it in. But I'm not
Throw
even
in
gonna look and
10% if
see.
you want.
I'm not even gonna look.
Yeah.
Just put it in if it is. It isn't. But, oh,
He just
dude.
undercut all these little mom and pop religions. Too complicated.
Yes.
You know, protracted. You got 18 gods. This one's got 14 arms. You're like, look, we got one Jew boy. We give you one Jew boy. All your problems, whatever you need.
Jesus comes
Yeah.
through. The
You
Greeks
fucking
are
girl without a condom?
Yo,
Pray to this
Tell
guy.
me that's not the most Jewish shit ever,
Yeah.
though. Is to just dominate the religion
the
market.
business. They had the
By-
business savvy. You gotta
Yeah.
respect them, bro. They pulled up to Greece.
my God.
Greece is like, look, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's like, yeah, that's nice. You want eternal heaven or what? You don't even gotta know math with me, buddy. All right? I got 10 commandments. I got no squares, no nothing. 10.
Oh, my
Do
God.
this shit. Go straight to heaven.
That's fascinating.
That is a good.
It's kind of the
that's a
same
really good thought.
precepts of what happened in the marketplace. What you see always happen in the marketplace.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, there's too
Simplified.
much going on. We
Yeah.
simplify, put it all together, consolidate.
Yeah.
Religion is a business. That's what they always say.
It is a fucking business, man. So how do we improve on that?
Or maybe Christianity started again because just people love to hate Jews so much. They're like, can we hate Jews with this one? This is the religion for me as long as I can hate a Jews.
And then Islam came around and was like, you think you hated Jews before? Wait till you see what we got.
We're taking it to a next level. And that's, Islam's like, I think the most, Christianity's still number one, but Islam's right behind them.
Oh, my God.
That can't be a coincidence that the two biggest religions both fucking hate Jews.
Well, dude, Christians don't, and then Muslims, now it seems like it, but back in the day they didn't. Jews live carefree in the Muslim world.
Isn't that on America, though, for Israel?
No, it's really on
The Jews.
Europe.
Isn't everything on the Jews?
No.
Right.
It's on Europe because within the Ottoman Empire, Jews live very comfortably. There's no Holocaust within the Ottoman
Right.
Empire, right? The Holocaust happens in Europe.
Yeah, they were just killing my people, the Ottomans.
That's true.
Yeah.
And some would argue that there was like a beef there. Some would argue that it was war. It wasn't just
Oh,
straight.
no, they enslaved us for 400 years, Greeks.
But you get to keep your culture. It's like best form of slavery.
Yeah.
You still speak Greek. You don't
They
speak
were pretty fucked up.
Turkish.
No, yeah, but a lot of that is just because of Greek pride, too. We just refused, Greeks, I think, just refused to give up.
But my
their
understanding, I
culture.
don't know too much, but my understanding about the Ottomans was like, yo, listen, pay the tax. You guys get to do whatever the fuck you want. And that's how
Kind
they
of.
were able to.
Yeah.
Look, Armenia would disagree.
Yeah.
Obviously. Look, I'm not saying everything's a perfect system, but Jews existed fine. They're fine in the Arabic world, and then all of a sudden shit pops off in Europe, and these Europeans were like, nah.
Yeah.
Economy's shitty. It's gotta be someone's fault.
By Europeans, you mean Germans.
The German. The Polish and the German.
Yeah, we have a problem here, and it's Jews. That's when Jews started to become like a pejorative. When you say it started with the Germans, like just Juden. It just sounded like whenever you hear
Yo,
Juden, run.
You know what it is, dude? It's the same reason why we hate successful celebs. You know, like when a celeb gets to a certain point and you're like, why the fuck are you there and I'm not? Not you, but
Right,
like
right.
the
So you think
American
people do that
people,
with
the
Jews.
people are, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, I think a lot of times what happens is it's not necessarily a Jew thing, it's just a success thing. And they've really cultivated like a community that
every
breeds that
minority
success.
says they're gonna do exactly what the Jews do without
And then-
saying it,
and then
and
they
then
don't
every
do it.
minority fails except the Jews.
Yeah, the
It-
Jews are just.
They set the well, Chinese are good at it.
Yeah. So are the
Indians
fucking
are good too.
South Asians are
You
crushing
know,
it.
I mean, maybe I'm whatever. I'm too close to it, but to me, Indians aren't.
Guys,
that
you
good
you
at
got Apu out of there.
yeah.
You did it, bro.
What?
Well,
we
you
didn't get
did it.
Apu out of there. Well,
No,
one dude who wants to
Hari.
fuck white girls got
Dude,
Apu out of there.
Whoever bullied Hari in high school,
Bro,
like
we got to find that guy.
we gotta find that guy and be like,
Philip.
yo,
Yeah.
you fucking created a
monster.
dictator. That motherfucker's cleaning house.
He's the new Rajneesh.
Yeah, he's not done either. He's coming after something else.
Yo, the new Rajneesh. And I said this when I saw Wild Wild Country. I was like, these Rajneeshis are just vegans, fam. They're just hipsters. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I said this on the podcast.
Did you?
They just come onto a land where nobody wants them. They take over. They have these odd sexual habits. They look weird. They dress weird. And they all worship some minority that no one knows who he is.
Yeah. But Asians, South Asians, Jews, the cultures that just, really emphasize hard work and education. And
Succeed.
yeah,
At
just
least in the
succeed.
West, yeah.
Yeah, when they get here, yeah. Because I think, like, to your point, they come from a place,
Nigerians.
yeah, where they don't have as much opportunity. They come here and they're just happy to have the opportunity. They're not spoiled like fucking we are, third
That's
generation.
what my mom did.
Yeah.
My mom came here and she was like, hold on, what? I can just...
What are you, by the way?
My mom's from Scotland.
Yeah.
And my dad's Irish and German. And but
That's why you're a go-getter. Fucking yeah. You got that waspy kind of early riser.
to be honest, I think it comes from my mom.
Yeah.
Like, because my dad's family came here and they grinded, and then they got a lot of success.
Yeah.
Like my great-great-great-grandfather, whatever, came here in the 1800s. Apparently, he was like a millionaire back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was making pianos with somebody, and then the guy just shit on the business deal, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll make the pianos," and it worked out. He like had this like piano company, and then apparently he lost like $1 million in the stock market back in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like crazy money now.
Like a billion now.
Dude,
Yeah.
stupid, right? So, and I was in Chicago where a lot of my family was, and like, that's how stupid people are. Like, a German marrying an Irish person was like beneath
Right.
them. Like, so
Yeah.
That's that cute racism.
yeah,
that's
it's like that white on white shit.
Yeah.
People think white
It's like,
people
you're
get along.
Pakistani, I'm Indian. You're like, you guys are so cute. You look exactly the same.
But that's what non-whites don't understand about whites. Like, whites don't get along with each other either. There's
no.
so much beef.
That we talk about that on History Hyenas all the time. It's like people aren't as racist as you think. It's people are shitty. Because if you look at history, white people have killed the most white people. Black people have killed the most black people.
course.
Asians have killed the most. It's
You
like
kill who's close.
You kill who's
Who's
closest.
traveling to kill. This is
That's why
we should do
That's why
rated
people-
R Seinfeld.
Yeah, will. White people will travel. Yeah,
White people will.
That's right.
Guys, we've killed everybody here. What else we got?
Yeah, white people have killed the most white people, but white people have definitely gone for the record. They're like, blacks, you killed the most blacks. We're coming for the record.
They're the Kobe's of this. They want that. They want that record. They want the numbers, fam. They'll
You
do
know,
what it
you
takes.
know, at some level, when like Hannibal was like crossing the fucking sea with elephants, white people were like, "This is impressive. I never thought about taking elephants across
Yeah.
the sea to kill people. This is good."
But dude, Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah, that
Genghis
motherfucker's
Khan made a
monster.
run at it. Yeah,
He was a monster.
he killed a lot of white people.
He did?
Oh yeah, he fucking cleared house.
That was the guy.
He
huh?
marched down, yeah, from Asia.
Only
and-
thing I know, my dad told
Cleared
me
house.
when he would invade like one village or whatever, he would try to cause so much destruction and just brutal shit that the next village would hear about it and then surrender that much more easily because of what he did to this.
He was a
village.
fucking.
That's like
brutal
Tecumseh
kid.
Sherman.
Yeah,
What
on
he
another
would do?
level.
Total
though.
War.
Yeah, he burned.
This is during the
raped.
during the Civil War in America. It was going on too long, and he was just like, "Yo, fuck this."
Burn it.
Like literally burn the South to the ground, and they just started going through towns and just lighting them on fire. It wasn't, hey, let's meet in this grassy field and then just
Right,
go,
right.
you know, what is like Game of Thrones war,
Yeah.
you know? But it was like fucking. They started burning everything. If you go to Savannah, Georgia, they got to Savannah, Georgia on Christmas Day, and they spared the city.
Too beautiful.
It was too beautiful. And it was also Christmas. And that's why Savannah, one, has all this like ghost relic shit, but also it's sustained from 1800s.
Yeah, it's too beautiful. Same thing Hitler with Paris, just like too fucking beautiful. Thank God, those are beautiful cities. But it always works. That's
Have
what
you heard of Chinese depression syndrome? No, Paris depression syndrome.
No.
Have we talked about this on a podcast?
No, we should get into sports after this.
We'll
though.
get it, yeah. So it's like...
You know, that's funny. We do the same thing on History.
Yeah, just
Hyenas.
talk shit.
We just talk, and then we're like, should we do any? We are a history podcast. We just have too good of a time.
So Paris depression syndrome, apparently, so Chinese people save up like their money their entire lives from China to go visit this city, Paris, which they have built up in their mind to be like the most incredible city in the world and so romantic and so beautiful. And they look at the pictures and all this shit, and they go, and it's wildly underwhelming.
Yeah.
Right? There's like guys in the street just screaming at them in Arabic, trying to like sell them shit like that. Like nobody's taking pictures, whatever. It's just like dirty. And they're literally, there's like a disease associated with it, with depression when they go back and they realize, fuck, I just wasted everything to go to this city. I'm so disappointed. Dude, dead ass, bro. It is a fucking problem. And I started thinking
it's
about
like a mirage in the sky that they're trying. Like
it's
Let me
one
tell
of
you
those
how
things, real
unfriendly-
quick. Yeah, go.
Let me tell you how unfriendly Chinese people are, is that nobody goes back and tells other Chinese people, like, yo, this shit is not that great. You just tell, if everybody who did that told 10 Chinese friends,
the word would spread. Yeah.
10 years from now,
It's too many
there would be
people.
no, fam.
Too many people
Is
to
this
tell.
a real thing?
Dude,
Yeah.
look up Paris Depression Syndrome, and it's a big fucking deal. And I started to think about it
That's
when I
like
was
their
out
Muslim heaven that they're trying to get to.
That's the
Well,
40
it's like,
versions.
you know they love
I
the
can just
pictures.
imagine Muslims, they blow themselves up like, 72 versions, and then it's just darkness because there is no God. and they're going, fuck! Shit, they fucking tricked me. God damn it, I was used as a political pawn? Where's my fucking versions? It's just dark!
What if God's Jewish and he's just out there like,
Welcome!
Hey guys,
Yeah.
so about those versions. Guess
thought-
who's the virgin? You.
You thought we controlled things down on the earth? Well,
72 circumcised dicks just enter in his butthole. Who's fucked now?
wrong move, Muhammad. Wrong move.
Yo.
You made a big mistake.
Yeah, this God isn't fully formed, but what if it is a Jewish God who's like, wants a bunch of destruction, but he doesn't want to get Jews blamed for it, so he just put this shit into Islam. Like 72 virgins, just kill a bunch of people. That
I think you're
want you
describing the American government. You're describing U.S. foreign policy, my friend.
You might be right.
There's people in Yemen saying the same thing right now.
Dude, how great would that be though if like there was another dimension, or if it's simulators, if there is a God, which there might be, and if you did some shit, your karma, which is what I love about you guys got karma, right?
Yeah.
Karma's a great. I believe in karma. I don't know what
It's
it is,
just
but
laziness.
But it seems. But what if
They just don't want to have jails.
Yeah, but it seems karma kind of seems
Right?
to,
Isn't that all karma is? It's like if you do something bad, we're like, should we lock them up? But then we have to take them and put them. It's going to come back. You're
tell
going
you
to fall and bump
I
your
have to
knee.
disagree there because Indians are not known to be lazy. That's not our thing, is laziness.
Have you seen your bodies?
Yeah, you're right about that.
You're physically lazy. You'll like study in the same position, but if someone's like, yo, put him in jail, it's like...
no.
Nah, we're already
in their
volunteering.
defense,
Gandhi was just walking in jail on his own volition.
In their
guess.
defense, I think what you're seeing is malnourishment.
No, they're
I'm
fat.
malnourished.
Oh, fat. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm talking
this
about.
is-
Yeah, for people who are starving, you never see the like really skinny ones. Like Gandhi's the only skinny Indian.
Nah, mad skinny Indians.
By the
I
way,
don't
Gandhi
see
got
that.
a lot of puss, didn't he? That's like a
got a lot of
new
what?
thing. A lot of puss.
Oh, pussy?
Yeah, he was. All
supposed to
these
be
like
celibate.
civil rights leaders fucked a lot.
He's supposed
Martin
to be
Luther
celibate.
King.
This is interesting because I've heard some like stuff that people are much more off put by than me because I like whatever context. But like, what have you heard?
I heard that he had like he had some chicks. Can we have him look it up?
Yeah.
Or
So what I've heard
can we just
is-
spread fake news?
Yeah,
So
let's
what
spread
I've
the
heard
fake
is-
news.
Yeah.
Gandhi he took a vow of celibacy, but to like test his will, he would like sleep with like young women, like 14 or something.
Right.
But at the time, he got married when he was 13, and his wife was 11 or whatever. So 14 wasn't 14. But then that was apparently, I haven't heard that. I mean, he might have, but I haven't heard that he actually had sex with the girls. I heard he did that to test his willpower.
So
and
just a
there's
quick,
no way
just
he's
a
not
quick thing.
gonna.
Just a quick thing. Let's say he doesn't have sex with the girls.
right.
Right? And he's doing it to test his willpower. Right? Let's say I'm on a diet
Right.
and I'm not eating Oreos.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just keep an Oreo in front of me to
Right.
test my willpower.
At some point.
I'm doing that because I like eating Oreos.
Right.
So if he has 14-year-olds in his bed,
Right.
it's because he likes...
Oh, he had kids. He fucked. And then at a certain point in his life, he said, I'm done.
I'm not going to be a pedophile. He
I'm
went
not-
cold turkey.
Well, he got married at 13, so 14 is not to him.
He got married at 13. So
and his wife was 11. So again, you're not looking at a 14-year-old girl like, this is illegal. We say 18 is 18 because we have a childhood in America.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In India, as soon as you got your period, there's no childhood. Like, you need to start having babies. You're not living till you're 80.
You know what I'm saying? So like culturally speaking,
the man
14
was born in the
is
1800s.
Not, right. 14 is not crazy culturally
That's what I'm
speaking.
saying. Then culturally,
That's
historically speaking, in that context.
You know, that's the challenge. My mother was a human rights lawyer for the UN and stuff, and she did some big work on the international rights of children. And that's always the challenge with international rights and laws, which we need.
Right.
Undoubtedly, we need that.
Yeah.
But that's the challenge. It's always like, that's my culture. Like, we cut off clits. And you're like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, no, but our God loves it.
Yeah.
And,
I have a great point about this clit thing.
But isn't that worldwide, globally, pretty historic? Like, as soon as you have your first period, you're about ready to have a kid.
Yeah, I mean, by nature, it's like as soon as you have your period, you're ready to be a mom.
I do think we don't understand, because we have this extended adolescence because of comfort, that a lot of the world doesn't work like that. Like, you got a child soldier who's 11 years old and you adopt him and bring him to America. You're like, hey, buddy, here's a plastic toy for you.
Here's
Is that
an
going to be
Xbox.
fun? Go play with it.
Yeah,
What the fuck? I kill people.
Yeah. He's like,
It's not.
kill people.
I have 27 confirmed kills.
This
You want me to play with a Matchbox car? Rum, rum, rum. This is fun. It's like, no, I can't feel. I need to drink the blood of virgins. That's the only thing that can get me off. I'm a child soldier. I got to push around a fucking G.I. Joe. I did this for real. Let me kill some people.
So 14, you're saying once the period kicks in, it's not unreasonable for a more primitive culture
in the 1800s
to assume that that's when you're ready for sex.
Right.
Because technically it's your body going, I'm ready for sex.
My understanding is historically that's just what it was, pretty much globally.
I mean, that's what a bar and bat mitzvah is, right?
Probably.
That's what a quinceañera.
Yeah.
You've become a woman. You've become a man. This is, right? Weren't there kings and shit at 14? It's fair. I don't think, but I understand maybe as we get older, we're like, let's let the body curate
Mick
a
Jagger
little
was
bit.
fucking 14-year-olds. This is the 70s in America.
I think 15,
It's all, it's problematic. And then you have, like, geniuses who come along who try to, give us good ideas to try to get some order. 11-year-old girls probably don't want to fuck a 40-year-old guy, who they're arranged, and you try. Now that's just called the patriarchy. It's like, no, those were just individual geniuses.
You know what's
like
really
John
funny?
Locke is not part of the patriarchy. Those ideas don't have a gender. They're just good ideas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes things are just good ideas. Individual rights is a good fucking idea.
There's what I find so funny, especially like around election time, is like leading up to the election, all you hear, not all you hear, but a lot of what you hear is, man, these white males ain't shit, and white women, all they do is vote for Trump, and they keep fucking up white women, and white males and white women keep fucking up, and blah, 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 they ain't shit, da-da-da-da-da. And then the election happens, and then white males and white women vote conservative, and then liberals are like,
How did this happen?
why would they do that?
Yeah, it's
what
ridiculous.
would promote that at all? It's like, you're just bullying them for a 2-year period, and then you're shocked that they don't vote for you?
Yeah, you're just calling them all racist. I actually got into it with a guy on Twitter who I'm not going to say who it is. He's really smart.
Who?
He's
It's Patreon,
This is
baby.
Patreon, baby. We got this.
Oh,
go,
this is
go.
Patreon?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's
You think we would allow this much Jew talk on the regular? Be honest, you're insane.
You gotta pay for the good stuff. Yeah, yeah, man. We would all be thrown out of the game on this one. This is flagrant. This is suspension. Yeah, we gotta. This is just call this fucking episode "Meta
Malice-
World Peace."
Malice at the Palace.
We're in the stands punching fucking patrons.
So go on.
Yeah. So yeah, he was a producer for the Daily Show. And
Who?
I'm not gonna say his name.
Why?
I don't want to do
Black
that.
dude.
Huh? No, white dude. But I'm not
How
gonna
old?
say his name. He's probably around 40 or something.
Paul?
No, I'm not gonna say his name. I can't. I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay.
Yeah. So yesterday. I tweeted. I can pull it up. You want me to pull it up?
Well, now they're going to look at your tweets and just find it.
Oh, they're
fine.
gonna know who he is.
Exactly.
Oh,
Why'd you say that,
I mean,
bro?
it doesn't
Let
have big
motherfuckers
deal.
do
I'm
some
gonna set my
Sherlock.
man up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it's too late.
Now they're
anyway.
going to look at your tweets anyway, so you might as well tell what happened with Paul.
But I'm not gonna say the name. If you're
What happened with
that
Paul?
ambitious, so I was basically saying I was like,
One person who's that ambitious, please screenshot it and put it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So the rest of us, save us the
I was
So
work.
you
just
and Paul
going-
Mercurio are
I was
beefing.
just going I just tweeted
Paul Mercurio is a Daily Show producer?
He used to write for the Daily
It's
Show.
not Paul Mercurio.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Who is it?
Paul don't got the
I mean,
brains
you
to
just
produce
look at my
something.
Twitter and find out at this
All right, fine.
point.
Go,
yeah.
go.
So I tweeted sarcastically, like, keep it up. Like, wokeness is working, guys.
Yeah.
I was like, thumbs up, LA. Like, keep going. Like, celebrities, it's really working.
Yeah.
Fucking the
People are
Republicans
fucking
picked up
idiots,
4 Senate seats, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg is fucking like 97 years old.
out.
She's on life support. So now they got another fucking Supreme Court pick.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not working, guys.
Yeah.
And it's like they keep the problem is with the framing.
Okay.
They keep going. It's racists. These racists are electing people. Like, keep calling them racists. It's like they're not racist. And he goes, I guarantee. He's like, the issue was immigration. It's like people are voting. It's all racist. He called them racists, and they're voting against immigration. I go, no. You're taking the extremists. And you're those few fucking crazy people.
Which
and
if somebody does that about a person of color, you lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, you lose your fucking mind. And you're calling the majority of that body politic that voted that way racist. It's like, no, I agree with you. The issue is immigration, but you forgot one word. Illegal immigration is what they're against.
Sure.
And they're strict on that.
Sure.
And you're fucking calling them racist. They're not racist.
So here's a...
Stop framing it that
Liberals
way.
are the
You look at
real
Chelsea
quick.
Handler's tweets, you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Of course. I mean, but that's totally different. Like, these are women who just have no career anymore, and they're searching for some sort of attention, right? When Margot Robbie starts complaining about Me Too, then I'll believe that it's a real issue in Hollywood, right? If it's 50-year-old bitches that can't get an audition complaining about it, I might have a feeling that it's about not getting auditions.
Right.
I'm just saying, right? When Amy Schumer's movies continue to tank, and now she gets woke, she's just searching for a base.
Yeah.
Right? Like, her base used to be Opie and Anthony fans, all conservatives that are called racist now. She doesn't want that anymore because it's not flying Hollywood. The movies are tanking. So she's like, how can I reposition myself to have a woke fan base? Oh, be woke. I guarantee her next special is all about women's empowerment, Me Too. 100%. I guarantee you that's what the whole thing. And all she is she's a fucking, what are those, like those things that hang on the shark? And they just eat the food
Parasite?
that comes off the shark. She's a parasite looking for a host.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway.
Because it's funny, because we're in the entertainment business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All of us. And the thing about us is we admit that we're like pieces of shit.
Your favorite woke
we just
comic
admit
is a piece of shit. I guarantee you.
Oh, without a doubt.
We admit, we're like, look, we're ambitious, fucking self-interested
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of shit. Those people, like, they pretend to be, like, caring. You're like, dude, if you knew the anatomy of someone who wanted to be famous,
Yeah.
they are
You would-
such narcissistic pieces of garbage.
Yeah, it's like Gandhi being like, no, they're just here to test myself. The fuck they are. The second them bitches go to sleep,
Let Gandhi live, fam.
yeah, well, you're right.
That man legacy
You're right.
live.
Yeah.
You're right.
So Martin Luther King fucked a lot, too. So
Good for him.
Yeah.
So look,
Andrew also heard one time someone said, and this was a guy who was trying to push propaganda, I think, but he was like, Martin Luther King used to like beat the shit out of Coretta, and then Andrew was just like, he freed black people.
like, what is the net gain on abuse, right? Like, there's a little abuse to her, and then a lot less abuse to black people. So it's net less abuse, allegedly, right? Like, what do we want? Net less abuse, right? Like, wouldn't you take one person being hit?
It's so funny because
If I could be punched in the face and then black people were like overall treated way better, isn't that worth it?
No. It's just funny.
That's progress in reality. It comes with a price.
If you've seen a woman get
Imagine
hit, you know how
getting
fucking
gnawed on
horrendous
by
that
a
is.
fucking Rottweiler and then
You're not wrong. It's just funny because if
the water's on you. What is it called? The
fire.
hose all day. The hose, and Greta's talking about how hard her day was. Bitch, this is a Rottweiler bite. Look at this, a new suit. I just got this. I've been walking all day. You know how long Tulsa is? Tulsa's long.
It's a long place.
This city was created by the DMV or whatever Giannis was saying earlier.
The auto lobby.
It's an auto lobby city. It's not made for walking.
The car lobby, yeah.
So you're saying Martin Luther King came home, mad Rottweiler bites, wet as fuck from the fire
hoses.
hose, wet socks, sloshing in his walk home because the bus boycott, and then Coretta is telling him about his story, and then she's like, "Do you even care?" And then yes,
I'm not saying he would ever do that. I'm saying if he did do that, right? First of all, you have to judge the temperature of the room, correct?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You got to test it. Put your toe in the water. You're not putting a toe in.
You know what your husband's job is.
Bro.
It's to take abuse all day.
She literally
Stay out of his way. He needs a little silence.
Marty, you would not imagine what happened to me. What? You know how well I kept it together today?
Yeah.
You know how many N-words I got today? I got 1,000 N-words.
Coretta, there's only one way I'm gonna be able to be non-violent with these white people. I need an outlet.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta look the other way.
Oh,
it's so
fuck.
funny to see, because you live in New York. At the very least, you've seen at least one woman get hit. It's like a thing.
I've never seen a punch.
Up.
You seen a punch? I seen thrown into garbage.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of kids get hit. Black
fine.
mothers love to hit their kids on the train. I mean, that's just what it is.
I heard a black mom tell her kid once, "If you don't stop, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face." And I was like, "Yo, what?"
Yo, that's what I don't understand about Scared Straight. It's like, why are you taking them to prison? Just take them to their mom.
Yeah, the mom will do the trick.
Mom
Yeah,
does way better job than
in
all these
public.
prisons.
Yeah,
Dude, without a doubt.
it's funny when and then the kid just sits there in silence with his jacket all fucked up, just kinda, after he just gets punched by his mom, and they're just sitting there like, fucking jackets all deranged.
Okay, real quick, and then we're going to get to some sports just for the voting thing. I've been thinking a lot about this, right? About why it doesn't work, why the liberal strategy a lot of times hasn't been working recently. And the strategy seems to be call the opposition racist, sexist, or whatever.
Yep.
It's the Hillary strategy.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason it doesn't work is because calling that person racist doesn't help me, the voter, with what's going on in my life and the problems I have.
Yeah.
Right? I can't get health care with how racist that person is.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't get a new job with that person being racist. So if you call him racist, but that guy says to me, I got you at healthcare and I got you a new job and your job's going to be secure because we're shutting down the borders and I think that the borders are the issue, I'm going to vote for that guy because he's satisfying. It's policy. Go.
Barack Obama's message was
Hope, change.
Hope, change. Everybody can believe in
Exactly.
that. We all need change. The conservative message was he's not born in America.
Right.
And to see liberals watch that not work and then adopt the same thing against Trump.
And to the Republicans' credit, they realized what was so effective by it, and then they basically just copied it, right? And this is not all liberals, right? That Ocasio-Cortez chick, what does she run on? She's not running on identity politics. She's running on health care, $15 minimum wage.
Right, you're right.
She's taking the Bernie route. Policy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give you $15 an hour. If I make $10 an hour, this bitch got my vote.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have health care. She says I'm going to have it. You got my vote. If the other person that she's running against her is just going, she's a communist. Okay, maybe she's a communist. What are you doing for me?
Right.
Stop assassinating
She's
character.
also cute.
Sure. But
She's a piece. Let's be honest.
is
Cute
Bernie-
is an understatement. She's a fucking piece.
all right. But is Bernie Sanders cute?
Nah.
Exactly. So it's like you just doing it. So and this is what all you have to do if you're what does the liberal always say? Like stop gaslighting people, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that this is a term where like you make people feel like they're crazy
Trump is
for how they
gaslighting
feel?
us. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like toughen up, bitch.
Or wait for it. Liberals are gaslighting conservative voters.
Yes, they are.
Hey, we feel like immigration is a problem that's affecting our jobs, and then what do they say? Guys, it ain't a problem. You're crazy.
Yeah, you're
What are you
racist.
thinking?
Yeah.
You're racist. Yeah. You're gaslighting them. You're
Yeah.
doing exactly what you say that people are
You're
doing,
right,
who
man.
victims, all this kind of shit.
Great point.
Stop. It doesn't matter if they feel a certain way, if it's right or wrong. They feel it.
Yeah.
You have to address the feeling if you want to win.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is a game.
Yeah.
If you want to win the game, you address the feeling.
Liberals right now are the Knicks. It's glitzy. It's glamorous.
That's fucking hilarious.
They got all the lights on them. They get all the attention.
It's fucking hilarious.
And then the Spurs for the last 20 years, that's Republicans.
And you know what the
we got a system. We know what works. We
Good
fit into the
call.
system.
That's a
Let's
great
just do
fucking
this.
point. And you know what? They don't fix it because the seats are still filled. People still keep fucking
That's
coming
right.
out for their little marches and rallies.
Yes.
And it's like, so they're not going to fix it. But they're also wrong. It's like the framing is a problem because I pulled it up and it's like, what I said to him was he called them racist. He's like, it's racist. And I'm going, because we're talking about the Beto Cruz
Yeah.
election. He goes, racist. They're concerned about immigration.
Oh,
I said,
you
it's
mean-
illegal
yeah.
I'm
immigration
from
they're concerned
Texas.
about.
Not 50% racist.
And I go,
Not
40%,
50%
40% of Latins voted for Cruz.
Yeah.
So I'm going like, that's a lot of Latin racists against Latins. Like, do you even hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
40% of Latins
They
are
can't-
racist against Latins?
Real quick.
You're calling them all racists?
Quick. Cruz is a Latin.
He's a Latin.
So it's like you have a fake Latin. His name is not Beto. It's Robert.
Yeah.
He's 100%. He's Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah.
I
He's
didn't know-
100%
I
white.
didn't even know he was a minority because his last name is O'Rourke.
He's not a minority.
Yeah.
He's faking it.
Yeah, it's
he's
wild.
He's using it. It'd be like if I went and I Andres Schulz, and they're like, "Why is your Andres?" I grew up in fucking Dykeman Heights. Do you know what I mean? It's like around a lot of Dominicans, so they call me
Gonna
Andres.
come back on you. He wants to be president. It took down Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
This
but you
Pocahontas
can't
ass
call
bitch.
Yo, real
Took you
talk.
down, bitch.
Yeah.
You cannot take the position of self-right. The beauty of what we do, we're not gonna make as much money short term, but long term, I'm not a fraud. If I'm fraudulent, it's because you see me helping somebody. It's because you see me crying when I see a fucking sad movie.
Right.
It's because you see humanity in me. I have told you all along I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Liberals now are, and that's
Self-righteous bullshit,
So
yeah.
self-righteous, and
They
the
all-
second you
yeah.
fuck up, we can't wait to tell you.
Yeah, because you were right, because you were claiming to be a god and this pure thing, and it's like, yeah.
And I wanted liberals to win politically and like what my sensibilities are, but I also don't like bullies. And I feel like growing up in Texas, I know a lot of decent conservative people, and they're just getting bullied and being called racist. And when you lose, there is a smug satisfaction I get from that. Big picture, I know it sucks, but a primitive part of me is like, that's what you fucking get.
Yeah.
So-
that's what you.
Can I just say this on
fucking
Flavor
yeah.
2 before we get into sports? Sean King is a white kid. I mean, I like a lot of the work he does. I mean, he does bring some awareness. Some of it fucking annoys me. A lot of it annoys me. Some of it I think is good. I'm so torn over him because he's a white fucking kid.
Yeah.
His siblings are white. He grew up in a white household. He's fucking white.
Yo, so check it.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Well, this is why it makes me uncomfortable, because I believe he's alleging that his mother had an affair, and
Yes.
that's why he's not. Was it a consensual affair?
Well, I don't know. I love how he calls it. He always. This is how you know he's lying, because he goes, "She had an affair with a very, 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 very light-skinned black guy." You're like, yeah, that's called a white guy. You're a white
but
kid
think
with
about it,
fucking
like-
stringy hair. You white kid.
How sociopathic are you that you would rather the world think your mother is a whore who cheated on your father, who the mother of your other siblings? You would rather think that she was unfaithful and broke that marriage.
Is it possible that's true, even if he wasn't a black guy? The fact that
Dude, I mean, it's possible, but if it is, just like do a DNA test, and you're a public figure.
23andMe, yo,
just
it's
do
right
it,
there.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
have
what
you
Trump
seen
will
his
have you do.
brothers? Have you
Trump
seen
will
his
have
brother?
you do that shit.
And you're
Dude,
gonna
his
be just
brother
as black
looks
as
like a
Pocahontas.
barista in Williamsburg. I mean,
Really?
he's a white fucking kid.
Anyway,
All right.
it is.
Anyway, I don't know. That came out of left field, but I had to get it
No,
off my
no,
chest.
no.
This is the Patreon. I'm glad
It's,
you did it.
it's, but there was something real quick that we were just saying. I forgot what it was.
Jews cause all the
Dolls
problems.
all-
Is that it? I think we were really making some headway on how we're gonna fucking take care of these goddamn Jews.
And here's the thing. So it's like when we
God.
criticize, when I'm critical of like Democratic strategy, I'm a lifelong Democratic voter. I don't consider myself either now. They're both too extreme for me. But like, I say this because I'm hoping that you'll get your act together and try to win.
Yeah.
I actually think this country functions the best when both sides are flip-flopping. I don't want one to have a reign of power because I think it will just get too extreme. So I like the idea of us balancing it, 8 years this way, 8 years this way, et cetera, and then we kind of just stay in this middle path. Sure. But if you don't address the issue, people don't care about celebrity. That's another thing that we thought. Taylor Swift in Tennessee, I'm going to vote this way. Tennessee didn't vote that way. Why?
All right, bitch.
Because again, we don't vote because a celebrity tells us to. We vote because we have a problem in our life, and one candidate gave a solution to that problem that we like more than the other one. So the celebrity endorsement is meaningless if I have a problem and the candidate they're endorsing is not giving me a solution.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. You got to be really comfortable to vote for other people's self-interest.
Son, your parents own a small business.
Yeah.
Let's say there's some racist ass senator, right? who has a great small business plan.
I wouldn't vote for it. My parents would.
In a heartbeat.
In a second.
And you know why you wouldn't? Because you don't have a small business.
Yeah.
And once you do have a small business and you have 2 kids to feed, you're going to start going, what is more important to me right now?
Yeah.
Feeding my kids and keeping this business going, or this potentially racist guy?
Yeah.
Well, this is a small business you guys got going on.
You know what I'm saying? But like they own GMCs back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, all I'm saying is it's like a fundamental misunderstanding of how people vote. And it's just kind of sad.
Well, they forgot their, it was like, I think it was Carville, right? He really nailed it. I think it was the Clinton administration. He was like, it's the economy, stupid, right?
Yep.
Was that his quote?
I don't
Because
know
like
who
that's
it was.
that's essentially what you're saying. It's like it comes down to people's pockets
That's
and
it.
what you can do for them, and that's all they really
And
care
I said
about.
this on past podcasts. Yeah. I think on Idiots as well. I was like, oh,
Wait,
Trump.
when you say Brilliant Idiots, is that Amy's podcast or yours? Because I know that she took that.
Yeah,
she
what is it,
just
Brilliant
stole
Degenerates
that.
or some
I
shit
mean,
like that?
She acted like your podcast was a small podcast that nobody. It's like that's a huge podcast.
Yeah.
Bro,
You're going.
she's the worst.
I mean,
Yeah.
right.
They've had beef.
once
for-
I found
for
that this
years.
was the Patriot, I'm ready to unload.
Oh,
love
go
it.
for
And
it.
let me
I-
tell you
I
what I
love it.
think about the Muzzies.
So, but I was like, the second Trump did that tax cut and everybody was going to save like $400, it's like $400 is about the amount that people care about other people. Do you know what I mean?
If you were to put a dollar amount to it,
It's like literally if somebody said to you like, "Yo, do you care about these other groups that aren't you?" And then you'd be like, "Yeah." And then they were like, "How about if I just gave you $400?" You'd be like,
You'd be swayed.
"They'd be all right, right? Do they get 400 too? Everybody could be fine."
That's
So,
rent in a lot of America.
funny.
that's
You think
all
it's around
it is.
400?
It's 400.
So if it was 200, like nah.
200,
yeah.
you might care a little bit. 400,
400
guaranteed,
guaranteed, yeah.
because you already bought shit with the 400.
Yeah.
You're like, 400? I could get that new Spider-Man.
So it's basically
That
like
Spider-Man where you all in the city in New York? I don't even got to visit New
I can
York
say
no
all
more.
the black people I wanted. It's Spider-Man.
yeah, it's like a. I guess it's like a pair of Jordan 3s,
And a
like
nice
somewhere
pair?
in that area.
It's
yeah.
11s. You got
white
11s
or
with
black
that.
original cement. That area. Yeah.
I'm telling. Anyway, let's
3
get
to
to some.
400.
Let's get to some deportes.
I thought this was an MP, like a racist NPR podcast. That's what we just did. I forgot we were sportscast.
Oh, man.
Great to talk about sports. Pure meritocracy. Should we start with Kyrie and how he's slowly becoming
Pure meritocracy, except for Luke Walton. He shouldn't have been in the league that long. That was a fucking nepotism. I mean, just
You think?
Yeah, I mean,
I
come on.
remember him having.
Here's where the merit comes in, and I don't know
Brent
how
Price,
he is.
come on.
I don't know how he is as teammates. I don't know how these guys are as teammates. But like, there is value to. There are roles outside of athletic roles on teams. There's a reason why you see these guys like a Jamal Mashburn, Udonis Haslam staying around organizations because they like instill culture, right? And culture is very important for like winning franchises.
Juwan Howard.
Jawan, right? So it's like these people are valuable assets to the team if they do that. There is no player. What's the white guy on OKC who I think he just retired?
Nick
Collison. Like these types of dudes, they just like exemplify what it is. They keep the rookies in check.
Yeah.
They make sure everybody's fine. Like James Jones. Right, that's like LeBron's dude, and it's
Yeah.
just a guy to keep everybody in line. Kendrick Perkins? They're guys that are just there. You need a tough guy to tell the rookies stop fucking around that they're going to respect. Boom. So that's what I would make arguments.
But
for
also
that.
sometimes it's having a white guy on the team to reflect what's in the stance. I think there's a little bit of that.
If
Like,
he
yeah,
gets
you're the
minutes-
12th guy on
Yeah,
the bench.
I can
if
see
he
that.
gets minutes,
He's a good-looking white dude. Girls who don't know anything about sports would be like, "Oh, he's cute."
And plus,
look,
people are tribal and fucking, it's like
for Utah, I'll say yes, because they actually
Yeah.
play their white guys. But for any other team,
I love them drafting Grayson Allen,
yeah, it's
I loved
hilarious
it.
because they know their base,
and I think he's going to be good.
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. Okay,
He's a dirty. He's
I
like
love it.
This generation's Danny
Kyrie.
Ainge.
Kyrie. So Kyrie's slowly becoming one of my least favorite players, and he was my favorite. He was literally my favorite player. He had my ideal basketball game. If I could have
Always would
anybody's
talk about
game,
that.
all I would say, I love his sneakers because they're somewhat high tops, and my ankles can't handle this new like low top trend. And this year, he's just been a whiny bitch. And yesterday, the Celtics are playing the Nuggets. And Jamal Murray, point guard for the Nuggets, goes off for 48.
Yeah.
With a second left, he
Yeah.
heaves a three just to see if he could hit 50. Now, you're Jamal Murray. You're probably not going to get another chance to hit a 50 ball in your life. Most players don't get a chance to go for 50 in their life.
Good players don't get a chance to get 50.
Good players don't, right? I bet we could name tons of...
How many times Kyrie hit 50?
I don't think he's ever got 50.
Oh,
I think he's hit 40s.
No, I know he's hit high 40s.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I know he's hit 40s in the playoffs, which is massive. But let's say, so Kyrie and a bunch, there's like this unwritten rules of basketball shit where like at the end of the game, you're just supposed to dribble it out. You're not supposed to pad your stats, this, that, the other. He shoots it. He misses. Kyrie gets the ball, and he chucks it into the stands because he's like, you're not going to have your 48-point ball.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then he starts complaining, that was amateur, that was immature, why are you so thirsty, what kind of play is that, that's not how basketball is supposed to be played, da-da-da-da. Right. Gets fined $25,000. My point is this. When somebody puts 48 points on you in a basketball game, you shut the fuck up.
Yep.
You don't got to tell people how to play basketball.
Yep.
You got to play defense. He could not stop Jamal Murray. They let Marcus Smart do all the work on him. It's like, if you really want to have a say in the game, you want to be that all-star that you have, let me tell you something. If Jordan's on the team, Jordan ain't letting someone put up 48 without him marking him.
And if he is, he's not mad at the guy.
No, he's mad at himself. So don't be upset my man had a chance to go for 50. Be upset that you let him get close enough for a chance to go to 50.
I can see two sides of an issue.
Me too. I agree with you.
I can see that 100%. Logically, no emotion, you are absolutely right. I don't think Kobe, his fucking guy, would have done that. But I also understand there are unwritten rules, and it's like, yo, fam, you won. Just you just dribble out. There's 7 seconds left, 3 seconds left, whatever. Yeah. I get that too. But what I will say is, even if you believe that, to heave his ball into the stands and then not shake his hand is such a bitch-ass way to handle it.
Pussy,
Go to his face and be like, yo, what the fuck? I think it happened with Chris Paul and Dame Lillard at some point last year where Dame Lillard, and I didn't like it, but Dame Lillard went up to his face and was like, yo, what's the fucking deal? What are you doing? Whatever. Right. Whoever it was.
You ever notice the guys... I agree with you. I see both sides. I see your point. I agree with it. Maybe there's a different way to do it. Be like, all right, mental note. Next time, fucking elbow to the chest, or we're gonna drop 50 on you.
How about next time you give him 50?
Yeah.
How about next time you play some fucking D?
And I also agree, like unwritten rules is kind of fucked up. It's like, but you notice the teams and the guys that do that are on shitty teams because Golden
Nuggets
State
are nice.
Huh?
Nuggets are nice this year.
They're nice this year, but still
they only lost 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, but they haven't made noise yet. The
coach
is they're trying to make a name for himself. I'm talking about the legacy teams.
Right.
I'm talking about Golden State. Clay's got 51, comes out in the third, class. Winning.
Is it?
It's class.
Class to run up
30.
the score by 50 and just feed the guy until he breaks the 3-point record and then put him on the bench?
He's hot. No, you feed the hot shooter.
But you're up by 50.
No, but the point
is they sat him down in the third. I mean, guy could have had 80.
Sure.
They sat him down the third. Last time they sat him down with 3 minutes to go in the third. He sat the whole fourth.
After he broke the record.
He got the record, no question.
But
they were feeding the hot shooter.
Left, nobody's going to say, oh, you're running up the score with 28 minutes left.
You know how many times Steph has had 50, 40, 14, and they sat him the whole fourth quarter?
Sure, but they let him hit the 50. I guess that's what I'm saying is like the mentality of the game, of the mentality of the Golden State Warriors at that point is not let's win the game. It's we know the game's in the bag. Let's get him this record.
It's also feed the hot shooter.
Sure.
You can shift a narrative to say anything because you could also say to Golden State, you have the greatest team ever. You're just not going to let the fans enjoy that.
You know my feeling on it. I say let him play.
Let him play.
I want to let him play.
Exactly. You want 50-point blowout? Yeah.
That's why I want him to get 50.
Yeah.
I want Jamal Murray to get 50. I want Clay to get 23s. Like, leave him in. Now, if you're taking him out because you want to make sure you maintain his health, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that Kyrie is upset at this unwritten rule shit is nonsense.
But he's not the only one. It's happened before, like Akash
said.
said.
It absolutely has.
You can't pin it on believing in a flat Earth. You can pin that on Kyrie, but you can't pin the unwritten rules because it is unwritten rules for all the players. Everyone knows it.
What's the written rule? Play D. Let's start with written rules. Play D. Stop
it's like
letting
a
the
bat
guy
flip,
get
though. It's kind of like a bat flip.
Flip the bat. You just did the hardest thing in all sports.
I know.
You can't throw the bat however you want.
But you might get an inside pitch that's on the chin.
There is an MLB
there's an
ad.
rule,
There's an MLB
Yeah, but how
ad.
soft is that? This idea that you can't flip a fucking...
To your point, though, the MLB apparently put out an ad this playoffs with Ken Griffey Jr. with the backwards hat, and he just basically says, let him play. Let the young kids play. And they show bat flips and like all these crazy celebrations and whatever. The MLB realizes, finally, we can't do this old school unwritten rule, boring
tell you
ass, don't
something.
showboat
But then you
shit.
got to let the pitcher be able to give you a little chin music.
Okay, maybe you
Sure.
give chin
I get a
music.
little chin music.
If you hit a home run, you think you're just gonna walk around the base, no smile, nothing like that? I'm flipping that fucking. I'm gonna try to do that shit,
Dude,
I'm gonna try to do the
if I
landed
know
on
the pitcher
thing.
throws 99,
Yeah.
and I know I got to face him again, then yeah, I'm gonna walk around because that guy's got a ball that could put me in the hospital.
Yeah.
And he throws 99, so I'm gonna humbly. I know how hard it is. I'm gonna humbly run around, and that's it. You know, because
But I got a bat,
you could get to the mound with the bat.
but
yeah.
nobody takes the bat to the mound.
So what we should add is taking the bat to the mound. If you
Dude.
get chin music, you just go beat the guy dead like a fucking Italian mobster
Bro.
who you owed money to.
Bro, I'm telling you, it is
I
the
like your rules.
stupidest thing about baseball. I never understood it. A guy throws a rock at your head 100 miles per hour that can concuss you and completely change your life. He hits you with it. You put down your weapon. You have a weapon.
Yeah.
You put down your weapon, and then you go at a guy who has a height advantage because it's like you're chasing. What is that? I don't know exactly what it is in war, but you're putting yourself not only at a disadvantage by putting down your weapon, but you're at a disadvantage because he's coming down with you on the
You're right.
punches.
It's like some guy shoots at you and you throw your gun
Throw
on
your
the
gun.
floor.
Let's go,
And then
motherfucker.
run at him.
Well,
No, dude, I'm taking the bat with me. That's
Yeah.
exact. You just use your weapon. Now you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Now throw that mitt at me, pussy. Let's see what happens.
you're
And
not
I'm gonna
Batman,
beat
fam.
the shit.
You can use a weapon. You know
Say
what I mean?
what?
You're not Batman. You can use a weapon.
What do you mean?
Batman doesn't use weapons. He doesn't use like guns. Like that's his thing.
Oh
No
yeah,
gun.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but you
yeah.
know what? You know what's always bullshit about Batman? He's got a ton of other fucking weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's got the car.
I mean, what is he, like a
Batarang
gun
or
control
whatever.
advocate? I mean, it's like the guy's got a lot of fucking knives. He's got fucking Chinese
Of course,
stars.
he a gun control advocate. He's a rich white dude.
Yeah.
talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
Privileged.
I don't
New
know.
York.
I hate this unwritten rule shit. I think that's one of the great things about hockey, right? Is you don't need unwritten rules
Because you can just fight.
because you guys can fight.
Yeah.
It can be worked out on the ice.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there was a time in the NBA where
But let me ask you a question
Go.
about hockey.
go.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone would watch hockey if they didn't let them fight? I mean, it's kind of like, can't you make any sport good if you could just punch a dude in the face? I would watch fucking curling if you could pick up that thing and decapitate someone from Sweden. I mean, it's like, that's assault. They're just like, all right, you go sit in that box for three minutes. You're like, dude, I should be in prison for 12 years.
Yo.
I just hit a guy in the face with a stick.
Yeah. Oh, the stick thing is like, yeah, that's like a major no-no, right? But the fight is just we're fighting, but we're on ice and we got pads on, so like we could do damage, but do a fight. I don't know.
That is a good
Damage.
point.
I mean, it's assault.
Assault is
It
allowed.
assault. Yeah,
You're allowed to just punch someone in the
Yeah.
face that might not want to fight you.
it's assault.
I guess, and then you look like a pussy if you don't try and fight the guy back.
I mean, it's a precarious situation with those
But I agree with
blades.
you.
Bad things have happened.
We'll watch anything if it has a fight.
Yeah.
But is
NASCAR.
the sport
I watch
itself?
fucking chess. If a dude had a temper problem, I'm watching it. This is my favorite guy. You take his rook, he goes fucking ballistic.
Take his rookie, throws a hook.
Bro, that's what we need to do with women's sports. All women's sports should have a fighting element.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. Every women's sport that's boring, fight. WNBA. You want to make some money? You want that market share? Add fighting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to watch Brittany Griner beat up these chicks?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Either that or fucking more ass than titties, because that
No,
works
but they're not
too.
good looking enough. The only
Yeah.
sports we care
Tennis,
about are the
yeah.
ones where
Volleyball?
girls are attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, volleyball,
Tennis and volleyball.
tennis, like the ugly girl sports. It's just there's no reason to watch.
Dude, why is volleyball not more popular? Volleyball is a dope sport. Like when you watch it, it's athletic,
Wait a minute,
jumping.
the one with all them on, or the beach one?
I'm saying, like, I like it all. I mean, it's an athletic sport. Guys jump out of the gym. It's like
You know,
exciting.
I think
it's
the problem
fast.
is the game is too short. There, you can't really build suspense in a game to 20.
Yeah,
Ping pong,
yeah, maybe.
game to
Maybe.
11. I'm gonna give a fuck about that. There's not enough time for me to invest.
I just
What
always
about
really
tennis?
enjoy it in the Olympics.
Tennis, women's tennis is popular.
No, I mean like it's a short game.
No.
No, but the match is
Match is fucking.
a long, and the match is
Oh,
a
to
match.
his point, it's not just one. You don't play one game to 21.
Like 3 maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is similar like tennis structure. All I'm saying is volleyball. My issue with it, I just feel like they're like people who aren't talented enough to play basketball.
Because it takes. Because there's really no
It's
skill.
all the
except
skill for basketball, but no hands.
Yeah. Like
Like-
the reflexes are pretty crazy when like.
It's just guys that could jump. It's like the guys who rebounded well,
Yeah.
and they're like, all right, fuck it, I'll play this sport
Yeah.
because I can bounce, but I don't have dexterity enough to.
That's actually a decent point.
So I just see them as like
Yeah.
athletic but not skilled.
Yeah.
It's like athletes without touch.
But football has a little bit of that. I mean, how much skill does it take to just push a guy back or run and catch a ball? It's not
Run and
that.
catch, I think, has skill. Push a guy back is raw physicality.
Yeah.
Nah, there's mad like fucking hand technique and so it's so much shit.
Yeah, but who's the slow Who's the slow, skinny, short lineman? Like, who is the Steph Curry of linemen?
Yeah. You can't be a lineman if you're not physically gifted.
Right? Like, a real skill sport. Like, who's the Messi of linemen?
Yeah.
Right? Lionel Messi's 5'6", dominates soccer.
Yeah.
Right? Steph Curry 6'3", dominates basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
If there was true skill to being a lineman, there would be a tiny lineman that just found a way to do it off of raw raw skill, not physicality.
I disagree. I think that's a useless discussion to have, but I don't necessarily agree. But what I will say about the Kyrie thing, again,
It's okay. You're the dissenting opinion on this court.
Yeah, which is fine.
But you understand my point, right?
I understand your general point, but my view is these are the most skilled of these supremely gifted. Like, you have to be supremely gifted and supremely skilled, otherwise it just doesn't work.
I'm not denying that these guys are supremely skilled.
Right.
And I'm not disagreeing that they're supremely gifted. What I'm saying is there someone who doesn't share their physicality but's equally effective? Or is there someone who's just a little bit smaller?
Yeah, there's undersized defensive linemen who are pretty effective.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just don't know. I know the guys. I know Isaiah Thomas put up 50.
Right. Like the guy Aaron Donald fell a little bit in the draft because he was short.
Right.
But he was a fuck.
Now,
this guy's
also,
the best defensive player in the league.
NFL is.
Yeah, you're right. There's a few. There are a few.
NFL is also a different sport where, like, depending on your size, they'll place you in different parts of the field. So there might be a guy who plays linebacker who would be that Steph Curry of linemen, but they're like, nah, you're not tall enough. Why don't you go back?
Yeah.
But football, the skill in and of itself is pretty simple. It's not like dribbling, shooting.
He's a big football guy, so he's going to disagree.
Like it's like the skill is just like push guys, hand technique. It's just push guys back.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of be big, but also the skill in and of itself is a simple skill.
He's saying like
no, I think I see what you're saying.
Like
but
running and catching.
I think if you break down any game, basketball's a little bit, definitely a little bit more. But it's like, well, you just put the ball in the thing. I mean,
but it's just they're just kind of like riot control. Right? It's like
guys would be great cops at
rallies.
Exactly,
right? If it doesn't work out, just
be like, here's your shield. Be like, nah, fuck that. I played for
this,
Texas A&M.
Antifa? You think I can't handle Antifa?
Yeah.
I'll go to Portland. That's all they should do. Just have some NFL guys.
Texas A&M's line. All college football's line. Division 1, 2, and 3. Put them out there.
Done.
Cops sit back there, just smoke cigarettes. They got this.
Last point about the Kyrie thing. It's just such a bitch ass way to do it. If we're playing 1-on-1 and you're beating me and you're talking shit and you're running up the score, is there a more bitch ass way to handle it than for me to take the ball and throw it outside of the court and then be like, fuck you, and then leave?
Bitch, yeah.
And then not shake your hand off. Fuck that guy.
If you're gonna get fined anyway, punch a guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then afterward, double down and be like, no, he shouldn't have been mean. He shouldn't have talked shit to me and run up the score. So I'm glad I kicked the ball over the fence.
Plus, that's not fucking Boston's way. That's not Boston's way. Punch the guy.
Yeah. Get physical a little bit. I think Kyrie is. I think Kyrie's body is not recovered, or we're starting to see decline. Because I don't see explosiveness with Kyrie that I saw last year.
He's never been healthy except for when he had
LeBron carrying the weight.
And carrying the weight, and also like LeBron motivating him and the team with his workout.
Come closer to the mic a little bit.
Because LeBron's workout regimen, like his body is durable because that dude grinds in the offseason.
Yeah.
So he had all his teammates grinding like him,
Yeah.
taking care of his body, the discipline like him, which you need for that long season.
Right.
And every other year, Kyrie gets hurt. He's not durable.
And he was even hurt during the LeBron year at one point in the playoffs.
Cost him a championship.
But I think with specific with Kyrie, it's like, in order for him to get his shots off, he's relying on fadeaways. And what that says to me, right, and you see a lot of times aging players, in like Jordan had it, right? I lose a little bit of my athleticism. I have to fade away to create the separation and get the shot off. Kyrie was Mr. Layup.
Yeah.
Kyrie attacked, got by you, got you on his hip, pushed off, and then boom. Now it's all these kind of fadeaways. And I think he's lost a step of explosiveness. I don't think it's there. And I think that's why you're starting to see.
100% right.
I think you're starting to see some insecurity. I think that's what that's about. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I agree. I just agree.
Oladipo splashed in his fucking eyeball, the game winner the other night, off a hezzy. And it's like, Kyrie, that's your defense too. So you get the game winner shot in your fucking eyeball, and then you get 48 the next night. Step up, fam. Stop bitching.
All-star, big free agent signings backcourt is they're compromised. Both of them. They're both compromised.
Hayward's not looking the same either?
Gordon Hayward does not look the same either, and he won't. He looks psychologically just done. Yeah. I mean, that's got to do a psychological number on you to be able to just have that memory every time you lose your, you don't
want to jump up in the lane.
You get
Paul
up
George
on
came back, though, right?
Say what?
Paul George came back.
Yeah, George did. George absolutely did. But how do I say it? I can't remember George's game before. What I will say about George's game now is he's not going 0 to 60.
Yeah.
George's game is finesse. He uses speed, but he also slows down well in the lane. There's a lot of pump fakes. He isn't just Westbrook in it. Westbrook is 0 to 60, I'm dunking on you or I'm getting fouled.
Yeah. And
George's game is a lot more finesse, man. It's a lot more pump fakes, etc. So maybe he's not attacking the way that he used to attack.
No,
which could be better.
He looks similar to how he looked before the injury, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just not a bitch like Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward just scared.
Yeah, Gordon might be. I don't know. That shit was fucked up. All right, D Rose dropped 50.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this.
We didn't talk about it.
I'm just kidding, Gordon Hayward, if you're listening. This is the Patreon episode, so I'm trying to kick it up an extra level.
Gordon Hayward's a legend to me for being upset that he was having a third daughter. Did you see that
that's
gender reveal?
Funny.
No.
Oh, bro, this is the best
greatest
gender reveal ever.
It's an honest moment. Oh, no.
He's got 2 daughters already, and the wife goes, okay, here's the gender reveal. And he opens up this box, and then these like pink ribbons start to come up, and he just goes, yay. And then he starts walking away, looking at his phone, and his wife's like, are you excited? He goes, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of estrogen to handle.
So, okay, D Rose dropped 50. Emotional after the 50. 50 in a win.
And he had a block to seal the win.
Block to seal the win and game tying and put them up 2 as well, or up 1 as well.
Okay.
The free throw seals the 50 points.
Right.
Hell of a fucking game. I guess the question is D Rose back?
I'll say this first. I'll start by saying this.
Yes.
Murray, Booker, scoring. What did Booker score? 72.
72.
Right.
A really compromised D Rose dropping 50. D Rose is the most believable for me because D Rose was. I've never seen a basketball athlete like that. He looked like he was playing NBA Jam when he was at his height.
Right.
But we have to speak to the fucking new era, which is exciting. I'll give it. But now it's getting extreme. It's almost like the left wing of sports. It's like, fucking this kid Murray is dropping 50. Yeah. I mean, what happened to defense in this sport? Yeah. At some point, they're going to have to let these guys play defense again because this is getting nuts.
Oh, you think it's a reflection of rules?
It is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
The perimeter.
Of course it is. You remember in the fucking 80s, and you would never see a second-year player if he wasn't Michael Jordan or scoring 60, 50, 80
that's
points.
The main
it's
argument.
Nuts.
That's the main argument people have for those Bulls versus these Warriors is if you let them play like it was the 80s, these Warriors are done.
You won't be able
cooked.
to shoot like that. Yeah,
They're
but
cooked.
they might adapt too.
You just get a body. You can put one arm on Steph the entire time he's on the perimeter.
You could check a guy. You could body him up on the way. You remember when Greg Anthony used to play defense on you if you were bringing the ball up?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Has
just
his hand
work
on you.
to get the ball up.
Yeah.
Because a guy could D you. Now you touch the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if your arm touches him, it's like. It's like a foul. So
these big scoring nights don't count as much in your guys' opinion.
they're just
It's like passing around the NFL.
It still takes skill.
The same thing.
Yeah, but it's like
yes.
Offense also gets ratings, so it's like I get it. You can't.
Oh, it's the right thing for the sport.
Yeah.
I mean,
it gets crazy.
Till it gets crazy.
Crazy.
We love the big games, especially even with football. Some people say that these rule changes in football are to assist the fantasy lovers.
Oh, interesting.
Right? It's like we love big points going up. We don't want fucking defense because defense doesn't help fantasy. Right. Let's have these quarterbacks air it out.
Right.
Dude, they got to get rid of these fucking field goal kickers. Like once you start kicking, this is one point when offense gets out of control.
Yeah.
When you can kick from 60 yards,
Yeah.
it's like, so these guys are on the field, fucking these big athletes who risk their lives every time they're out there. They risk the future of their families to be able to remember in 10 minutes, right? And they're fucking blood and guts in the field. And then this little fucking honk-a-donk converted soccer player who's been sitting on the marches and the game is on his foot from 6. It's not fair. It's not fair. He's not part of the game.
Get rid of
Just
field
no
goals
more
in
fucking
general.
field goals. You know, if you stop the team, you stop it. These guys are risking their lives to stop them from getting a first down. Like, we're in field goal range, and they bring on this 5'6" fucking white guy. I mean, talk about white fucking privilege that this guy gets to sit on the fucking sidelines while this predominantly black sport, these people are killing themselves. And this little accountant-looking motherfucker walks onto the field and kicks the ball like a bitch.
And if you touch his ankle,
I
5-yard penalty.
Dude,
if you touch it, if you even touch it,
it's
try to
gotten
block
ridiculous that guys can kick from the other side, from the beyond the 50. I mean, you're scoring from your side of the field.
Crazy. That is
So
crazy.
it's like
football be more interesting if we had no field goals whatsoever? I mean,
Yeah,
you're going
I
to go
think
for it a
so.
lot more on fourth down.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
I think it's
interesting.
Especially
bullshit.
that red zone. Ooh.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
I mean, it really it's been pissing me off for a long time.
And what's worse than having your team lose on a field goal?
It feels cheat. It almost feels like cheating. It feels like, doesn't it feel a
There'd
little?
be a lot more ties, though.
Good point.
Get a lot more ties.
Good.
Because the easiest way to end a tie
point.
is field goal.
Or we just watch people die on the field because they just keep going, and it's what it is.
Old school
And
boxing.
if you sign up for it, I'm sick of this. Like the guys, it's like, look, it's like smoking, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
They should. That's why I thought football should have just owned it more instead of being like, we're gonna put all these safety measures. It's just be like, look, this is football. If you want to make a couple $1 million for your family. For your family in the future, you may not be able to see your family.
Yeah.
But your kids,
You might kill your family.
here's a couple $1 million. You could be a vegetable. You know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what you're signing up for. That's what the sport is.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I also like the rule changes because I think it.
The quarterback shit's a little. I
Actually,
like the
I
rule.
like it.
You do really? I mean,
like it
You
because
can't
it's-
fucking breathe on a guy.
No, I like that.
You don't. You
And
don't.
I like that not. And we spoke about this on a past podcast, but.
We did.
Not only the quarterback, but also like defenseless receivers, all this kind of stuff. Before we knew that this stuff caused CTE, I was totally fine with the big hits.
Yeah.
Now that I know that these guys are going to be mush,
Yeah.
I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So if you just hit the guy in the chest, break some ribs, fine, that heals. Totally okay with that. I don't want the quarterback to go down because I like the excitement of the game. I don't want Green Bay's backup quarterback. It's boring. I like watching Aaron. Keep Aaron around as many games as possible.
Yeah.
Keep Tom around as many games.
Yeah.
If that means that when you tackle him, you got to kind of like spin him and throw him, then spin him and throw him. Oh my God, a defensive end is going to tear his ACL. So be it. I don't watch for defensive ends. I watch for the quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it enhances what we love about the game.
Well, then, you want to hear something crazy?
Go.
You wanted something I just figured out?
Go.
Maybe we never get Tom Brady. If Drew Bledsoe is playing with these rules, maybe he doesn't get fucking hurt by Mo Lewis or whoever fucking.
That's a great reference, yeah.
And then Drew Bledsoe keeps playing,
That's interesting.
and Tom Brady just rides the bench
if there's one
because
coach,
we never see him.
if there's one coach,
That's true.
if there's one coach,
true.
What I'm
that
saying is you
would
got to let
bench-
nature take its course.
Yes, but if there's one coach that would bench Drew Bledsoe for a backup, it's Belichick because he was about to bench Brady for Garoppolo.
For sure.
That would this was a real thing that he was going to do. We act like this wasn't close. Maybe not this year. Next year,
Yeah.
Brady was riding that fucking bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this guy is a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolute sociopath.
Yeah.
Think
That's why
about it.
Kraft,
Actually,
that's why
sociopaths are charming.
Kraft and
Belichick
Brady
is
are
zero.
boys.
But I heard he is actually funny. I heard Belichick, he's shitty in those interviews, but when you actually get to engage with him, he's actually funny.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll see it I'll believe it when I
don't-
see it.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, they shipped him out. I mean, Brady probably went to Kraft and
No,
was
he
like,
did go
"Yeah,
to
boy,
Kraft.
Yeah, and ship him out. Yeah.
He said
Turned
bye.
out getting hurt though, so
Maybe it works.
you got to stick with the winners. Brady's a winner.
Yeah, I'm with it.
The GOAT for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been to 8. Has he been to 8?
8-1-5.
Nobody's been to 8, and has anyone won 5? Did Montana win 5?
Nobody's won 5.
Nobody's won 5.
Montana got
Nobody's
4.
been to. It's been to 8.
Do you
Montana won
size it for
4.
your thumb? The 5th?
You have to.
I'd size it for my thumb.
Montana won 4, but also got hurt in an NFC Championship game for what could have been number 5. The year the Giants won, Montana got hurt in that game, the championship game. So it could have very well been, and I think Roger Craig fumbled or something. This is the first year I started watching football, and I remember my brother telling me because I missed the game. But if he wins that game, they play the Bills in the Super Bowl, he might get 5.
Yeah.
He gets hurt.
Yeah,
but that
we
is
know the
part
Bills
of
are going
football,
to
right?
lose.
The
It's part of
idea that
football.
some people are going to get hurt.
Also, I don't think he still had.
That's
his
what I'm
coach.
saying. It's like
He didn't have his Belichick anymore either. He lost Bill Walsh.
Right.
Whenever.
So it might not have went down.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying is that let the course of the game happen so we see what is it? Let the cards fall as they may.
Yeah, because if there's one sport that's closest to war,
Yeah.
I mean, even in the strategies, flanks, all the plays, it's very similar to war. Position, the other guy's field. There's one. It's as close to war as football. So maybe accept that. Hey, this is just our one brutal sport where like guys get hurt, next man up. These are two like almost play countries going at each other.
Yeah.
Let's stop. What I'm saying is, let's stop pretending it's a finesse sport. I mean, it's a brute. I mean,
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's the most dangerous sport.
Are we going to stop caring about team rivalry? Now that fantasy exists, now that we have all this social media access to our favorite
question.
players,
Yeah.
do team rivalries matter less? That's my first question. There's a follow-up to it.
I think they still matter. They might be more short-lived. They might be more ephemeral, I was going to say, but then I was like, gay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you be reading? Fuck yeah. What was that Chris Rock bit? Read, I'll be reading too. 1, 2, 4, 5, motherfucker. 1, 2, 5, 6.
Black people and N-words.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think again, this is like if you have a team that's good and competitive, you still have your rivalries, but the rivalry might be more short-lived.
Right.
Cavs Celtics was a rivalry. Then LeBron leaves. Now no one gives a fuck.
Right.
Because there's so much more player movement. When teams are good, that's a rivalry.
Right.
Boston and L.A. became a rivalry again
Right.
when it was KG and Paul Pierce and Kobe and the Lakers. But then they got bad, and then who cares?
Right.
That's why I don't think there's a few like the NFC East in football. They still fucking hate each other.
Right.
Every team in there.
But
hates
for how
each other.
long?
I think it's a thing where we underestimate like Middle America again. I think like they still give a fuck.
You don't think fantasy is changing the structure of rivalries?
And
I
free
don't.
agency, too.
Free
agency, too.
Because I just feel like with fantasy, I was talking to some guys yesterday, and they were like, "I'll be honest with you, I love the Eagles." The guy's a big Eagles fan. He's like, "But I care more about my fantasy team every Sunday."
Right.
And
Yeah, if you got a little juice on the game, it changes it.
this
Yeah.
guy is an Eagles fan. I was like, "How do you feel about the Super Bowl?" He was like, "Honestly,
Yeah.
my season ended week 15
Yeah.
because that's when the fantasy season ends, right?"
I haven't heard that, and like
Right.
I still listen to the ticket in Dallas, and people still give a fuck about the Cowboys.
Right,
Like,
right.
That shit still
Oh,
matters.
I'm not
They still-
denying that they do.
No, I don't think it's gonna die out. It is gonna shift.
Right.
I just don't think it's gonna necessarily die out.
So my theory is it shifts, I think, as we get more attached to like personal player, right? And we know what's going on there live. We know what wine LeBron is drinking every night. We know what music that they're
Maybe for
drinking.
Stuff that
basketball.
women like, yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Is he nice to his wife? Are they still married? I like him.
So there's like this, I think that the rivalry changes to player. So if I know, I mean, obviously it's a poor example right now because they're on the same team, but if I know Lance and LeBron have this interesting rivalry, I'm excited for the game where Lance and LeBron are playing each other, regardless of what team LeBron is on and what team Lance is
Well,
on.
you see it with Westbrook and Durant. You're right. It
No,
really.
and
You see it with
it'll happen-
ODB and Gordon.
But it'll happen more with basketball than football because football, there's 22 players wearing helmets. You're not as attached to an
Right,
identity.
That's true.
But
Basketball, you do see that though. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at. But like when the
Right.
team is good because LeBron is there.
But Green Bay versus New England, it was just Aaron Rodgers versus Tom.
Yeah, and
they
that
didn't
was-
even
and that's a
bother
draw,
comparing the
but
teams.
that's never been a rivalry. There's never been a Green
Right,
Bay.
there's
New
no
England.
precedent for
There's
it.
no precedent for it.
So that's how they're selling it to us.
If it
because
was Green
there's
Bay,
no pre-
Minnesota, and we only cared because it's like, these guys play twice a year, every
Right.
year, and we
if it was
only
Giants, Redskins, it's
Yeah.
a different situation.
it's certainly going to be more in basketball because basketball is only 5 guys. Superstars
Right.
mean more. But football superstars don't really mean that much. If you notice, it's
outside
like,
of quarterbacks.
it's a team game, man. Like, look at what Belichick does every year with converted lacrosse players and undersized white receivers. I mean,
you talk about accountant. Julian Edelman can easily do my.
Yeah, but he's a piece too. He's a good-looking kid.
Yeah,
Julian Edelman is a good-looking kid. Yeah. So I wouldn't. Messi looks like an accountant.
You know how ugly girls in Boston are. Remember that girl who everybody in Boston hated because Julian Edelman slept with her after the Super Bowl? Also, by the way, in the Super Bowl, Julian Edelman, I think he won MVP against Seattle. Yeah. Definitely got a concussion. Definitely stayed in the game. Nobody ever talks about it.
If you're
fucked a girl that night, and then the girl just takes a picture like, I just slept with Julian Edelman, and that's what we remember. We don't remember he just fucked a girl with a concussion and then fell asleep.
We've become such a tabloid culture. Yeah.
Wait, you got to bring this girl up.
That's true. You don't remember that?
No, I got to see a picture of this
Boston.
girl.
This bitch slept with a Super Bowl MVP, and she wasn't cute.
Boston 6?
Boston 9 probably. Regular
Boston
world 4.5.
Okay, fair
maybe
enough.
5.5.
I got to look this girl up.
I mean, what a trashy thing to do. He was sleeping too, and she took a picture.
Motherfucker might be dying. He had a concussion.
But I mean, it's just like we've become such a tabloid culture.
Oh yeah.
It's like who gives a shit?
For sure.
You fuck Julian Edelman. I would be. You know, it would be a great story if Julian Edelman, who's single and a football player, is not fucking whores. That would be a story. Tell me, AC Green, that's a fucking story.
Yes.
The guy's on the same team with Magic, who has AIDS from fucking so many people.
You think Magic
Maybe guys, too.
You think Magic got AIDS pussy from someone AC Green passed on?
I mean,
he was like, nah, I can't do that. Magic's like, I got that.
That's a story.
And that's how he got AIDS?
This guy's turning down puss. He's a Laker. He's on Showtime. He's hanging out at Jack Nicholson's house, and he's praying. That's a fucking story. Basketball players getting puss.
AC Green used to sleep with 21-year-old co-eds in a bed to tempt him to try to have sex.
Yeah. He just had them there, yeah. Just like, lay with me. Lay with me while I get hard and I struggle.
Oh, she just straight up says, just fucked Julian Edelman, no lie.
Yeah. And then takes a picture of him sleeping.
I mean, so am I sexist if I call her a whore? Is that can you even use that
she
word
could be cuck
anymore?
of the week.
I mean,
Let's
she's
make her
a
cuck
whore.
of the week, even though this happened 2 years ago.
Wait a minute. So this is we should, but I'm confused here. So if a guy did this, if I did that to a girl,
to a famous one, to Jennifer Lawrence,
it's gonna happen to you, man. After fucking one of your shows.
Well, I've had girls take pictures.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what are you doing? You fucking, chill with this. This is...
And you're going to be like, come on the Patreon. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a good Patreon podcast.
We still need to call one of Alex's white girls, but he's got to be here for it.
He's got to be here.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to do it, by the way. What's up? Are you texting me? Oh. Eden's texting me. He has a message.
At this point, can't he just say it to you?
Yeah, I guess you could just say. Oh yeah, let me see if we can call Kaz.
Use the FaceTime audio with his email.
Has Kaz responded at all via text? Yeah. He said he's down?
He said he's down. He said just use his FaceTime email.
All right,
really? Okay, let me just do FaceTime audio. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get Kaz on the line while he's on a flight. This is going to be impressive if it works. I'd feel uncomfortable talking on the plane.
Oh, especially this podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
After this, we'll do producer topics.
Oh, yeah, let's do that now. Yeah, because we got to get out of here in a few. I don't know if...
We've been talking for 2 hours.
Almost.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we talked sports for 30
Okay,
minutes.
Kaz, we tried. Okay, let's do some producer topics.
Okay, this one is a good one. Let me find it again. Hold on.
He said okay. Hold on, here. Use my phone.
Huh? All right. This is the last chance, and then we're going to do the producer topics. You got some ready?
Yep.
All right, cool. You have 2 more rings, Cass. 1. Safe flight. Okay, go.
All right. Michael Curtis. Better in 10 years, Joel Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns?
Oh, Joel Embiid. Karl Anthony Towns is a bust.
What?
He got no heart, bro. That guy's soft. Soft like his skinny little fucking ankles. He just got bullied by Jimmy. He's playing like dog shit at the beginning of the season. I think he's just a nerd, and I think nerds get easily bullied when there's like a true alpha around. I think he's one of those guys that he's a classic like big man who do you guys remember when Kevin Garnett got snuffed by Anthony Peeler back in the day?
Yes.
Like Garnett was talking all that shit, and then little ass Anthony Peeler duffed him out, and then Garnett got real quiet.
Yo.
Yeah,
real
but Garnett,
quiet.
You can't say Garnett wasn't a tough, hard-nosed player.
Garnett wasn't
Getting
about
snuffed.
that action. Cornette was a lot of let's talk about it, but he was not about that action.
Yeah, but he played like he
But
was
he
about
played
that
exactly.
action.
Sure,
I mean,
he
was
played like
like
it. He played like it.
one of the best defensive players who ever played.
Played like it,
Yeah.
but when it came to the action, he wasn't about the action.
But that didn't make him not good. So to your
Yeah.
point about Karl Anthony
And
Towns,
he's not
being
a bust. You can't call him a bust.
Who, Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah.
I think Karl Anthony Towns, if you're going to do well with him, you need to you need to like support his ego tons. You need to
interesting-
baby him constantly.
Interesting thing about Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's personal trainer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Punjab. He said guys, I think taller than 6'10" typically can't be like the fucking champ type guys.
Yeah.
Because they just don't
It's
have.
too easy for them.
Everybody's too nice to them their whole lives. They don't have that chip on their shoulder. There's a height. I think it's 6'10", where it's like it's just really hard for that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's
Typically
not
it
true,
doesn't
though.
Only reason
That's
Shaq
not
has it
true.
is because his
Typically
dad's
it
a
doesn't happen.
fucking
Dirk was an animal.
Dirk was
was
an
an
animal. It took a
animal.
long time. As a Mavs fan, it took a long time for Dirk to get to that fucking status of killer instinct. I don't care.
But he had it.
I think
but
it was
he got to the
German.
finals a few
I
times.
think it legit happened because he almost wifed that stripper who was swindling him and lying about her identity. You guys remember the story?
Yeah.
I think that's when you started to see Dirk be like hardened.
I think Schulz is right. I think he started to picture just that there was fucking 9 other Jews on that court, and he was like, he got in touch with that black German heart of his.
I mean, which team did they beat?
They
beat Miami.
with
Where
the
do
super
Jews
team.
go?
They go to Miami.
Where do how can I pay back the Jews?
Extra motivation, yeah.
oh my god!
Let them think they're going to win.
Dude, and that was an amazing victory too.
Amazing.
I mean, he
Killed it.
carried them. He had an aging Jason. He had an aged Jason Kidd, over 40
That's
at
right.
that point,
That's
or
right.
40 at least. He had a compromised old Sean Marion. He had
No, he carried them
he
completely.
carried him, man.
Completely.
Jason Terry, right? I mean, he had a
Yep.
bunch of vets.
Terry was fun to watch, but no, he definitely carried him, man.
And
But
he
yeah,
they should have won. There was another one they should have won.
Yeah.
So Dirk was an animal. There's a lot of I don't.
Beast.
I don't
Dirk's a
agree
beast.
with that.
Dirk's-
Hakeem.
Hakeem is a monster.
Hakeem,
There's exceptions.
Shaq.
There's exceptions. He says there's exceptions, but typically 6'10" is like.
I see that.
Duncan?
No, I see the bigger guys being softer. They just
I think
haven't
it-
went
as
through
a-
enough in their life to deal with it.
As a general rule, I think bigger guys are softer than guards.
For sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
The Kobe's, the Jordans, that killer fucking mentality, that's usually 6'7", 6'6", whatever.
Well,
guards.
it's like you
Even
can
Chris
have
Paul.
that at 5'10", you could have that at 6 foot. You just often don't have the physicality to match it.
Yeah.
6'6",
Interesting.
6'7" might
Great,
be a cutoff.
Yeah, great point. Great
Right?
point.
And like
Yeah.
Larry Bird, 6'9". Is that a small guy?
no.
Kevin McHale, he had a killer instinct. He used to
Sure.
tell guys, "I'm taking you down to the torture chamber." You had that Midwestern
The
thing, like he'd
torture
smile at you. But that's one of my favorite trash talking shits that people said to people.
Yeah.
He would say the defender, he'd greet him at the court and be like, "I'm gonna take you down to the torture chamber all night." He would call the block the torture chamber.
great.
How fucking great is
really
that?
love
great.
it.
That's really
I gotta
good.
look back at McHale and see how nice he was. Cause
Dude.
yeah, motherfucker was nice.
2 horrendous feet. That's what fucked him up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had a long go.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
He had over 10, but yeah, the feet caught up to him. Big guys always the feet catches up.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen to Embiid. That's why I wouldn't pick Embiid in your scenario.
I
See,
just
that's
think
my issue is health.
He's got problem with his feet already.
Yeah, I just
and
think
I also
that
think he's so plotting on defense.
But he's nice.
He's very nice.
yeah,
but-
he's
touch.
good. I just think Karl Anthony Towns is soft. Like he's a little baby.
Yeah,
like
he seems
once he
soft.
asked for himself to be taken out of the game, he missed a 3, and then he just looks at the coach and goes, "Take me out of the game." That's some soft fucking shit right there.
I didn't see that.
You ask to be removed from the game after you miss a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
There's
how
no
these.
confidence there. There's no self-esteem. He's one of those guys that if you want to build a team around him, you need them fluffing him the whole time, and then you can't have any other alphas on the team. Because once an alpha tries to check him, he's going to whittle away.
That's what's already happening.
Well,
Seems like
that's what I'm saying in the beginning of the season. This guy's dog shit.
playoffs. He was horrendous. That's what.
Whittle away.
It's crazy how much the perception of him has changed in 6 months. Because 6
I
months
was
ago,
never impressed by
before
him.
the
Ankles too
playoffs,
skinny.
before the playoffs, people thought he was a fucking monster.
His ankles are too
Skinny ankles, dude. I don't trust it, man. Skinny little ankles.
You
I
don't
can
trust
see
the
that
skinny
being a thing.
ankles.
I got
Those
skinny
brittle
ankles,
little
I ain't
skinny
shit.
ankles.
Pretty little skinny ankles, dude. Can't be alpha male. Skinny ass little fucking ankles.
All right, we had a lot of good submissions this year, and this one is a 2-part, two patrons combined on this, two captains. Dr. Harvey Spencer Jr. Need us to know he's a doctor. Why is Floyd fighting an undefeated kickboxer? I'm a huge Floyd fan. I don't understand the move. Your thoughts? And then Gabriel V said, "Is Mayweather a broke boy?" And that's a thought that I had. Is Floyd spending so much fucking money, which doesn't seem possible? But is he spending so much fucking money that he keeps needing to have these money grab fights?
No.
Or is he just Let me hoard the wealth.
Come
Why
on.
not?
That's obvious. Yes.
What's he spending money on?
He just built that mansion.
He
You
pays
see
his
that
barber.
man?
He gets
I
his
mean,
haircut like
yeah,
every day.
He
and
travels
he pays his barber
with
like
500 guys. He first jets. I mean, he goes and he's you know the taxes alone he's got to pay on his earnings.
They're flying him to all these places. That's number one, right? When he goes to Asia and he goes to all these different places, there's a promotional group that's flying him out.
So explain the tax thing to me that happened last year, where they were like, "We have to pay these taxes after his fight. We'll have more money."
It's rich people shit.
Dude, he spends.
Never seen a rich person.
Yeah,
do
he's
that, I
not
don't think.
responsible
What,
with his
avoid
money.
taxes?
Go to court and say, "I'll pay you after the fight." I'll pay you after this. Because he's not saying I'm not going to pay. He's just asking to delay it by like 2 months.
There's no question he's broke, and there's no question he likes to spend and continue to spend. So it's just there. He's
I
caught
don't
in
buy
that.
it.
There's no ending up thing, and he sees a one more payday. He's gonna get hurt.
I
Again,
don't
two
buy it.
sides, because it seems unfathomable that you can
not
spend
broke.
that much money.
He's not broke because not only, okay, people go broke. This is how fighters go broke. They don't go broke from spending all their money. Tyson didn't go broke because he spent all his money. Tyson went broke because he didn't make the money that he made.
People took it.
That's not true, though.
Yes,
That's
it
only
is.
one side of the story.
Don
He
King.
spends. Same thing with Holyfield. They spend. They
Okay,
get
but-
a mansion with 60 rooms.
Okay, so Holyfield, made $20 million, bought a $20 million home, right? That's only $20 million. We're not talking about a lot of money. Floyd made $300 million on his last fight, right? That's $300 million. That's $150 after taxes if you're paying all the taxes, which he's not, right? You're finding these little S corps and shit that you could hide money in, right? So he's clearing crazy bread. That $150 million in taxes is $150 million that you can just spend money on. Right? Because the government's going to get anyway, so let me just write this off. This is a business trip. This is a that. This is whatever. He's got some genius motherfuckers that are handling his finances, that are giving him a weekly allowance that he gets to spend. Everywhere he flies is already paid for by the
So
promoter.
why is he fighting this dude in your mind?
I think there's a couple things, and I think we're going to figure it out in the near future. He's been in Asia nonstop before this fight, right? Always traveling. Oh, I love Singapore. I love Japan. I love China. I love la 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 la. So he's been over in this region for a while. I would not be surprised if he's got like a massive business deal with like a casino or something like that. And they're like, Doug, we're just going to pay you crazy bread to get involved here. Or the Money Team Promotions, you guys can run boxing in Japan, or et cetera. And he's using his name equity to enter the Asian business market.
But why would he need to fight to do that?
Because none of his fighters have the status that his name has. And this fight that he's going to do, we don't know what the rules are, but guarantee they're going to be in his favor. And if it's hands, and this guy's little, the guy's like 125
If
pounds.
it's just hands, nobody's touching him. Yeah.
He's going to bully him.
But he is getting a little slow.
Sure.
He's going to get walloped. You ever notice boxers
Age
especially love, and they also love to hold on a little too long.
Oh, of course, of course.
You know,
I just don't think it's money, guys. The guy's made so much money, and he's not surrounded by stupid people. Like, for a rapper to spend $1 million on something, that's a big deal. Rappers don't make $300 million. We're talking about a guy who's worth maybe $500 million or something like that. The last few fights have been $100 million paydays.
I mean,
multiple
how much
$100
did he get paid from
million
McGregor? Was it $300 million?
I think he made
300
$300 fucking million.
That's what I was saying. It seems like too much to spend, but I can't.
How do you spend the money? You can't. It's like, oh, he's got 40 people to travel with. Okay. $100,000.
No,
It's nothing.
Well, I disagree. I think he spends like that.
But what could he spend on? Gambling is the only way that you can lose the
He's got a
money.
couple mansions. He just built that. He just built that one that he put on Instagram. He
So
had it
okay,
built.
Let's say he built
So-
it for $40 million. Also, where is he building it? In Nevada, where land is cheap as fuck?
Yeah, but it's still going to be. It's a $40 million, probably $40 million property.
I don't know exactly how much.
And I bet you people jack up the price on him too when Floyd
There is
because
something
they know
weird
he's not going like fighting for a deal. He's going, I got it. You know, his ego. Yeah, $50 million. Yeah, he wants it more expensive because he has that mentality. Like, I got the $100 million house, and you know, so he's not. As your friends would say in Santa Barbara, he's not Jewing anyone down.
You know what? The people that do his deals are. And the people that he's surrounding himself with are completely different than most of these fighters, most of these athletes, most of these rappers, etc. The money market that he's in, when you make that kind of money, and there are people that would be millionaires just off of taking a 1% cut of your purse, they're a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
They're looking out for you in a very different way than some hanger-on who's like, yo, let's go to the club and spend $40,000 on girls.
But if they know that you're as stupid and egotistical as Floyd is,
Yeah.
you're turning that 1% cut into a 4%
Yeah,
cut.
this happens all the
and
time
saying,
with famous.
Floyd!
So
It's
Al
sad because
Heyman-
it happened to famous black people more.
So
Yeah.
his manager, Al Heyman, right, is like a genius behind boxing, and he's completely shifted the game. And he was the one who almost got Oscar De La Hoya out of there. The whole reason why, Oscar De La Hoya went to rehab for like drugs and alcohol, and there's a huge beef between Oscar and Floyd, and that goes back to fighting times. It goes back to Floyd's father training Oscar to fight against Floyd, and like some crazy, dramatic shit. But it also goes back to Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. They tried to get Oscar out of there, and then Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather were going to own Golden Boy Promotions. That was the move. So Al Heyman manages all these fighters,
Right.
and then they lease out the promotion to places like Golden Boy.
Right.
But Golden Boy had almost no talent on the roster. It was Canelo and maybe one other guy.
Right.
So really, they don't have anything. They have the ability to promote a fight, but they don't have the ability to they don't have any equity in the brand because you only have a couple guys signed. So the goal was get Oscar the fuck out of here, and then we go in. And when this Oscar became savvy to that, he was like, nah, get the fuck out of here. We're not doing it. So they got like a long-lasting beef. I just don't think Heyman, who manages him, and Ellerby, who's his like right-hand man, would even let him get close to that. The guy's made it's different amount of money, guys. It's different.
I understand what you're saying.
But
and
if
that's
they
my
get
first
rips
thought.
off him, don't they want him to continue to earn?
There's an argument there for sure.
And
I mean, let's say you're living.
maybe you're right. I mean, I don't know. I need more information.
Let's say you're
I
making
don't know.
10% on your money, and you got $200 million in the bank. That's $20 million that you just get to live on. It's a lot of million.
No, it is.
That's just interest on $20
But that's
million.
us. Look, it's like perspective. We're thinking that's a lot, but it's like to them, they're going like, that's a little when we could make 5 if we go to Japan.
Sure. We got to learn more about this fight.
I need more. Yeah, I need
That's
more
the thing.
details.
Okay. Do we have time for one more that could be interesting? I haven't watched a lot. Bristol Wright, you guys watch more basketball than me, especially you, Andrew. He says ball movement for the Lakers is more fluid when Bron is on the bench.
I've been watching a few Lakers games. I think the Lakers' issue is not offense at all. It's just defense.
Right.
It's raw defense. They have a huge problem with defense, and I think that's why Luke will be out of there because Lakers are putting up 150 points. They're putting up 140. They're going into these double overtime games. They're scoring.
You're right. You're just right there.
It's raw
It's
defense.
what it is.
Is the defense a coaching issue or a personnel issue?
Coaching. Defense is all, in my opinion, defense is all coaching, right? Because not only is it skill that you're teaching, but scheme. And I think Luke just might be a trash defensive coach. I mean, they haven't been able to stop anybody last year. This year, they're not stopping anybody. I think that's part of LeBron's frustration, right? LeBron, I think we've spoken about this before. I think he just wants somebody who's he's completely on the same page. He doesn't want the
He
responsibility.
wants an assistant coach, but he gives them the title of head coach.
Exactly. And it's literally what it is.
Kind of what it is,
right? And it works for him, actually. It actually fucking works.
Yeah, kind of. It's what it is.
I mean, like maybe in Miami, Spoelstra was a legit coach. Spoelstra did the coaching. But also Spo was grandfathered in through Wade. It's like LeBron was joining, so play ball.
But Pat Riley, that's a different. Pat Riley at the helm, that's a different situation.
Magic at the helm could be a different situation.
Yeah.
I think because Magic has had a coach fired after winning a championship.
That's true.
So Magic understands the importance of a, lead superstar player having his influence on the team.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine firing a coach after winning a championship?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's why he got AIDS.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the karma. If you
Yeah.
really want to be like, imagine getting that phone call as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What more can I do?
I just won you a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was it the right decision? Maybe.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
I don't
Won a
think
bunch more?
Yeah.
Or would they have won a bunch more
Might have
regardless?
won it either way.
We don't know. But
I mean, you have to take Magic's side. If it gets that
you
bad,
take Magic's side. And if LeBron feels like Luke does not know how to coach defense at all, and he feels like Ty Lue could, bring him in. What I would not do is bring Mark Jackson in. There are whispers about Mark Jackson. And I wouldn't bring Mark in because Mark has an ego. And Mark and LeBron will clash. You need to bring someone like Ty who has no fucking ego. Ty's ego is taken by Allen Iverson. You can't have an ego after that situation, right? So it's like, and that's the perfect person for Bron. Because Bron can ignore you in the huddle, and Ty's like, you just ignore me in the huddle.
He's stepping over me.
Just stepping. I've been stepped over before.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what actually is the truth. Because maybe Ty, we're just looking at one play from Allen Iverson, but maybe as a coach, he did. Maybe that's what LeBron likes, is someone who takes charge a little bit.
Real quick, to your point
It's hard to say.
To your point about the new NBA, Allen Iverson in today's NBA would be something interesting.
Holy moly.
100 points a game.
Because he's not a guy
Oh
putting up a
my
ton of threes.
God,
At least back then he wasn't. But like, if you can't be that physical with Allen Iverson, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So the only issue for Allen would be,
Talk about a guy who's also durable, which is
Yeah.
crazy
Unbelievable.
at that size to
Yeah.
be durable like that.
Save all his energy, not practicing.
unbelievable.
Take no contact.
And now nobody practices though, but he's
mean,
absolutely right.
You know, you got to put him in that category of rare athlete like Lawrence Taylor
Yeah.
or those guys who just don't take care of their body and then somehow
Yeah.
just don't
Raw,
get hurt.
raw athleticism.
Crazy.
You know who's this is maybe even disrespectful to both of them to put him in there, but there's the wide receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fast
Mike Evans?
No.
Oh, Deshaun Jackson.
This guy, if you look at him, I was thinking he was going to be ripped,
Yeah.
6-pack, everything. The dude is like, he looks like he's hanging outside of like a project building with, no shirt on. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no ripped abs, nothing like that. He's just kind of like regular looking.
Right.
But when he's on the field, elite, raw athleticism.
Right.
And I think you have to put him in that category with an Allen Iverson. Like, Allen Iverson, this guy was never shredded. His arms were never popping out. He didn't look like Andre Iguodala with the triceps.
Yeah.
But elite, raw athleticism. The one problem for him in the league nowadays would be what happens when you're going up against fours that can move like guards.
Oh, yeah.
Because back in the day, you're going up against fours that move like Tim Duncan.
Right. Yeah.
Allen Iverson was exceptional, though, man.
Oh,
That
unbelievable.
speed and that just sort of the quickness was, I mean, the jumping. I mean, it's just like a freak. It's rare. I think you put him in that rare, especially because of the durability. That's not common that a guy
Unbelievable.
that size does what he does
Yeah.
in that era
Yeah.
and just
Unbelievable.
doesn't get hurt. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And just played through it. He's
Yeah.
just he's unfucking real, man.
Crazy.
Couldn't feel
I mean,
pain.
Lawrence Taylor
so much
used to
drinking.
smoke crack.
Completely numb.
Yeah.
So that's why Lawrence Taylor couldn't feel anything. Just crack.
Just fucking smoking crack, cocaine. He'd be like, well, "Where were we last?" There's that story Phil Simms tells where he's like, it's like, "You played great." He's like, "Who were we playing again? Like, where were we?" He didn't even know. Sometimes he didn't even know like that team, the city they were going had a football team. He just kind of showed up, went on the field, and then was high when he was. As soon as the game was done, he
Done.
just was high again.
Did you hear the story about when he showed up and he got 8 hours sleep?
No, and he didn't play well.
No. He was like he had all this fucking energy. He's ready to go, and they're like, "What's going on? Is he on coke?" And they're like, "No, dude, I got full 8 hours last night. It's on." He's just not out drinking the one time he gets 8 hours. There goes fucking Joe Theismann's leg.
You know what's crazy? You guys might not care, but everybody swipes when you're a defensive end or whatever, and you try to sack the quarterback and you swipe for the ball.
Yeah.
That's Lawrence Taylor. People just used to sack the quarterback, and then he was the one that was like, "Let me get the fucking ball." Swipe down, bang.
Yeah.
That's Lawrence
Really?
Taylor. That's Lawrence Taylor. Yeah.
Why would nobody have done that prior?
No, it's one of these things. Everybody just sack the quarterback. If the ball
Yeah.
comes out, great. And he was just like, "No, swipe at the fucking ball while you try to sack the quarterback."
There are some.
Swipe, wrap up.
And that seems to be the conventional wisdom
That's
right
that's
now,
what you
right?
gotta try to
Brilliant.
do,
Yeah, get
yeah.
the fucking ball. Go get it.
If you go there are some amazing highlight reels of Lawrence Taylor's hits, dude.
You saw the one on Theismann, right, where he just snaps his
Yeah,
leg in half?
I mean, I remember watching it.
You saw it live.
Yeah, I saw it live. I'm an old kid, remember?
Dude, how was it like when JFK got shot? We should just go through
Fuck
events.
that. Let me tell you about Ulysses Grant. How he came in and really cleared house.
That was the first Giuliani.
Yo, History Hyenas is just Giannis' childhood.
I've seen it all.
You heard the
Bro.
story about Joe Theismann and Lawrence
Yeah.
Taylor? Lawrence.
I was 56 when that happened.
No, but this is a dope story. Just because of fucking, I don't know, just the brutality of it and the manliness of it.
Yeah.
Lawrence goes to visit Joe Theismann in the hospital.
Yeah.
Joe says to him, Lawrence, they're saying I might not ever play again. And Lawrence just goes, well, Joe, you know I never do anything halfway.
Yo.
Beast, dog. Beast. The flagrancy.
Dude, you want to know what the crazy thing is?
He's like, yo, let me get that prescription of them pain pills you want.
Dude,
I didn't even know you're here. I was just coming to steal some crack. Some bitches in a drug war.
he just put pills in his jacket.
What are these,
Just, "Are you
Percocets?
okay?"
Thanks, you're not going to need these.
Dude, you
Joey
could hear
Theismann.
the snap.
On the audio.
You heard it.
You heard Theismann's-
You heard the snap. And fucking, I remember LT, I think it was a Carl Banks and LT. It was two, maybe it was Carl Banks or Harry
opposite
Carson.
ways, right? Yeah,
Harry
yeah, yeah,
Carson.
yeah.
And like they both immediately like were calling.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
knew,
I mean, his
'cause
leg
if
went 90
you
degrees,
could hear it
full
at
90.
home, fucking, yeah. They heard it right there. Must have sounded like it was a rock concert.
And you know how fucking back then there was the microphone technology wasn't crazy. You know how loud that shit had to be?
It was a snap. It was and the hit was hard too, so it was just noise.
Yeah.
I mean, he got demolished. That was back then when guys would get nailed.
Yeah.
Like, I do not understand. When I see Phil Simms announcing a game, I don't know how he
can
knows
speak?
what his name is.
Yeah.
Because he was a pocket quarterback in an
He would
era
just get
where
drilled.
you just got drilled.
Yeah.
Concussion.
You had to
Aikman's another dude.
You had to
Yeah.
earn a soft hit, right? There's those. Have you guys seen these documentaries that they talk about like Namath and just other like highly respected quarterbacks, and towards the end of their careers, linemen and linebackers would kind of like softly put them down because they felt like they did a lot for the game. It was a respect thing, you know. And I thought it was kind of cool.
That's
Like,
dope.
and you'd see Namath because he was a shell of himself at the end of his career, but you see them rolling him down.
Yeah.
You see them putting him down,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, of
like
course.
if you're not gonna,
You earned it.
Don't take a cheap shot at Brady.
Yeah.
What are you fucking doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take a cheap shot at Aaron. You can
Have
take
some
a cheap
respect.
shot. Have some fucking respect. Now, some young gunner that's in the league,
He hasn't earned your respect.
sit him on his ass.
Well,
Yeah.
that's unwritten rules.
You're right. I'm a
Yeah,
hypocrite.
now you're a hypocrite,
I'm a
but that's
fucking
okay because you're
hypocrite.
entertaining.
I'm a,
We're all hypocrites, and that's the point.
as long as we're entertaining.
as long as
And
it's
own
entertaining.
it. We own
Exactly.
it.
I'm a
Yeah,
piece
yeah.
of shit. All right, let's wrap this up. I do want to say, and there's something I would totally love to have you be a part of, Giannis, but I want to start this new series I think I'm going to do for YouTube called, I don't know the name of it. It might be called Inside Jokes. It might be called Joke Shop. But essentially what I want to do is what we've kind of almost done organically here is I want to just have 4 comics, and each brings a premise or a joke that doesn't work. It's either too offensive, it's fucked up. They can't get the crowd to laugh.
I got a lot of those.
Yeah, but
I got a few of those.
right?
Yeah.
But you think it's funny,
That's a
and I
great
want
idea.
the 4 of us. We sit down, and I want to do it at different restaurants.
Yeah.
And I want the 4 of us to sit down, and each person says, and then everybody kind of like tags it. Everybody says why they think the audience is not understanding it, and you really kind of peel open what it is that makes a joke, the psychology around it. And the reason I'm excited about it is they always try to make comics talk about things that are happening in the news because they're like, you're funny, be funny about this. And my feeling is, why don't we just be funny about the shit that we give a fuck
Yeah, we
about?
care about, yeah.
I don't care about Kavanaugh.
I think it's a great idea. That's a home run.
But wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah, do it
Yeah.
soon.
Oh,
Quick.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
don't let
think
anybody.
next weekend that I'm going to be
Could
here.
be some fucking comic listening to this right now.
Well, no, I got
Yeah.
my Patreon people, like the family,
Yeah.
they hold
yeah,
us
but it
down.
could be a couple young comics in there right now. Fucking.
But, yo, so I was talking to my manager about it.
Should have told us that one off the mic.
Nah, fuck it. Fuck it. I like to say it on the mic so it can hold me accountable.
That's a good idea.
Yo.
And you should do that quick soon.
So we're going to do it. We're going to do it in the next couple of weeks. But I think that you'd be a great
Whenever
guy to
you
have
want,
on
I'm
it.
there. That's a fucking homer.
So check it.
That's a
Here's the
homer.
dope part about it. Here's stage 2 with it, right? I think this is a great live show. You know how podcasts live are great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But this is part show because you are still doing a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the audience, when they watch a live podcast, they're like, should I laugh? Should I listen? What's going on here? But this is like, no, here's the concept.
Mm-hmm.
You get to hear what the audience thinks of a joke live.
Mm-hmm.
You get to have that kind of joking banter. And I feel like this is one of those shows that we could fucking travel
And
with
it could
almost. It's like-
potentially open up the idea of when a comic does an offensive joke. Once you know the process behind it, you understand what's going on and you're not as offended by it.
Yeah.
Because if you think this shit just happens, then you could be offended by it more easily than if you realize, yo, they put like thought into this, whether I agree with it or not. It's
Yeah.
just with the intention of being funny and the challenge of making it work. And that's all this is. This is a game.
You're
Let's have fun.
absolutely
Yes.
right because it makes them. It shows them that this this was constructed in an effort to be funny.
Yes.
And I'm disappointed that it's not. I'm not trying to offend you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make you laugh. I'm just failing.
It's like
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
say people who will go to slaughterhouses don't want to eat meat again.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you watch the slaughterhouse of creating a joke, you're not going to want to be
yeah, it's a
offended
great
by the
example.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's a
Yeah.
dude. No, that'd be great. Anyway, so that's me holding myself accountable. We're gonna make that happen in the next few weeks for sure. But I would love to, obviously, Akash, have you, and I've spoken to you about this before. But I think Giannis, you're a great comic, especially for this. I think comics that have like strong premise bits
Yeah.
are the ones where this would excel.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not knocking comics that aren't like strong in their premise, but if you're just telling like a story about some shit like happened that was embarrassing, I don't know.
Oh, I've taken some cuts. I've taken some
But that's what I want.
fucking Big hurt Frank Thomas cuts that
That's
missed
it.
and just struck out.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's the more fucked up, the better. And then like just bouncing it off each other, going, "Oh, I could see why this isn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some funny in this,
Yeah.
but that's not there just
It's
yet."
great. I
We're
think
gonna
it's a
do
whole. I think it's just a fucking good idea.
And it'd be a cool way. Like I always think about platforms where I could like give opportunities to like a young comic. I think is funny. The podcast not always the shtick. There's some comics that they're funny. They might not be good on a podcast. They just might not be able to do this.
Right.
But comics are good at jokes and talking about jokes.
Right.
Even the most awkward, fucking weirdo comedian, we know all these like borderline autistic guys.
Yeah.
When talking about jokes, they become normal.
Human. Yeah.
Right? It's you find a way to like bring them in it, and then outside of it, you're like, "What do you think about the Knick game?"
Yeah.
And you know what else? What could be a consequence of it is you bring a joke that doesn't work there that you really want to work, and then your friends could help you figure out how to make it work.
That's I want
Start
that to
telling it
happen.
again. Yeah. Then
I
next
want
thing you
us
know,
all.
you're telling it and it's working.
And check it,
Because
right?
your boy's like, hey, what you need to do
Is
is stop saying kill all Jews. I mean, that's, I mean, you can't start the joke with I want Jews dead. I mean, that's not going to work. You lost them at the top. Save that for the end. Start with, I got a lot of Jew friends, and I respect some of them.
You're just getting calls from the Saudi Arabian consulate. We would love to bring you out. We're hearing this joke, an inside joke, so funny. Please perform for Prince.
But do the before version.
Do it when it was
we like
hate
initial
speech.
premise. Initial premise, no punchline.
Yeah, because we don't do comedy out here, but we do big hate speech shows.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna make that happen. This has been another episode of Flagrant 2. Thank y'all so much for fucking with us. And we're gonna call up Alex's white girl next week when we got Alex back in the studio. Thanks for the support always. We love y'all. Keep it going in the community. Keep the community boards going. I see you guys talking. I see you guys connecting. I see you guys coming together. I see you guys gifting. I see you guys including. Keep all that shit going, man. Let's ride. And bring on the new people. If you see new people coming aboard, let them know the rules. Let them know the principles, rather. Okay? Bring them into the community and teach them what the community is. I'm empowering you guys. Akash is empowering you guys. We're going to put it together here. Also, we're going to have, real quick, we're going to have a system for all these new people that subscribe. And you're like, where's our merch code? Where's our where's our access to the producer email, et cetera, like that? There's going to be a new system where once you subscribe to the Patreon, you're going to get an email from Patreon. They'll have all that information. So don't worry if you don't have it just yet. It's going to go out there to you. We love you, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Peace.
Yep.
Oh, make sure you check out Giannis's podcast, History Hyenas. Make sure you check Giannis Pappas on Instagram, Twitter, anything else, man?
I'd say you nailed it. Thanks.
Boom, man. All right. Peace.